All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And boom. Good morning, everybody. Wow. Copperhead Road Podcast live on Rumble, live on YouTube, live on Kick, live on this, live on that, live up, live down, live to the left, live to the right. I'm your boy Footer. My man Rex is back there. Got Jen over here next to me on the glass. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll here today. You know, Sunday mornings for us. Yes, sure. Have we been here on Sunday mornings lately? We may have been, but it's a little out of character for us. Not really, but a little bit. Trying to get used to it. You know, I don't really have much pep in my step in the morning. You know, my brain doesn't flow yet. But yeah. But I snorted a couple of lines of methamphetamines, as we like to say, crank, and yeah, I should be okay.
Now, do you think that the fact that you're having a hard time in the morning has to do with the fact that you're part Sicilian with the Moors and everything? You know, being part black.
You know what? First of all, it's funny you should say that. I'm white, just for the record. And if I was black, so be it. But I'm not. And my girlfriend constantly, and has since I've known her, tells me that I'm not white. They just I'll say something, I'll be like, well, yeah, I'm a white person. So she's, yeah, you're not white. I'm like, kind of am. So
what is she basing this on? Because you're tan.
I think the Italian thing, and I think that growing up in Florida and dealing with like real white people, kind of, you know what I'm saying? When you're like a New York Italian, I think I think they think you're a little different than a white guy.
God, I never really placed her as like being like overtly racist, but I can't place it anywhere else other than that being the case. Like she's excluding you because you're not white. Like, dude, I'm sorry, you're in cahoots with a racist.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, she's definitely not. I'll tell you one thing though, fucking lately, dude, we have a lot of fun. Like when we go out now to just like little restaurants or even to the store. Like we're in this thing right now where we like do shit to like fuck with each other, So like, again, everything from like hacky, like something you see like on TikTok or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where every time like if the waitress comes, like I'll like ask permission, like I'll be like, I'll order my food, and I'll be like, hey, hold on a second. Let's say the waitress, I go, wait 1 second, and I go, do you think it's okay, like if I don't get a salad and I just maybe get the fries? You know what I mean? Like I'll do little things like that. You know what I mean? Like she's controlling me and shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Jen and I kind of do the same thing. We'll be in a store or something, and she'll take the cart and she'll kind of hit me with the cart a little bit, and then I'll just say, "Bitch, you ruined my life."
I'm just writing. We're gonna see this. I just wrote. I wrote to Deb. I wrote. We are talking about you on show.
Morning, VG.
But yeah, we're doing little things like that, or like we were walking around the store yet last night. I couldn't find her, so I was just all of a sudden I was just like, I just started yelling, you know what I mean, her name throughout the store, and then her yesterday was going like she did something and she was in the middle of eating, and I said something, she was like, what, something like that, because she had a mouthful. So I'm like, I like looked at him like, really? I was like, you're going like what or whatever. And all of a sudden she leans in, she's like going like making fucking noises in the restaurant. It's so funny. What's up? What's up, VG?
It's nice to see that you're both happy and back on drugs.
Your ass. How's everything with you?
Things over here, things pretty good. We got our daughter back from camp yesterday. She was super excited, and it was the same thing even last year. She was miserable the first couple of days, and then when we're on our way home, like, do you want to do this next year? Yes. Okay, well, so we have to lock in for another $3,000 next year. But this is, I think, going to be her last year at this particular camp coming up. So she'll kind of be the big dogs there. So I'm hoping that she has a full week of fun this time. And again, I was even telling Jen, I said, it's not even the fact that she's sleeping alone or in a different place or around strangers or whatever. I'm like, she's having physical withdrawals from sleeping in late, the food that she eats, her phone, the computer, watching TV, like it's
routine. Yeah, the routine is throwing her for a loop. Well, we were saying last time, I think it was maybe after the show, that there is that age, like even like with my girls when they were going to camp, once they got to the age probably where your daughter's at right now, it's like you don't like you're at that perfect age where like you could be the counselor, but you can also you know what I'm saying, but you're so you don't know who to relate to, you know what I mean, you're caught in that middle age, you know what I mean.
She had even said that. She said that there was a couple of times where she ended up sitting at a picnic table with like two of the counselors that she had last year, and she had actually taken, because it's an arts camp, and it's digital art, regular art, jewelry art, yoga, dancing, singing, acting. I know
Acting lessons, singing lessons, dancing lessons.
God,
she was the best piece of ass I've ever had, and I've had them all over the world.
Talking about my daughter, could you not say best?
I'm not. I'm doing. Wait, you know what? Cut the show. I'm out. I'm not gonna do this anymore. You fucking sensitive fucking. I almost said the word, but I love your wife. I'm not gonna say it. Enough is enough. God.
So anyway, she did acting.
Oh, you say you wanted my daughter for whatever.
She did acting, and there was another thing that kind of threw us for a loop. What was the other? Archery? Well, she did archery too, but there was another.
I thought Jen yelled parquet, like the parquet. I thought you were doing it.
Pickleball.
What's that called? Parquet. Where you like jump from the bench like against the tree and then jump. Parkour. I think that's what Jen said. Parkour. Well, my daughter's been doing a lot of parkour lately. Really.
But she did acting and pickleball. And when she even said, she's like, I'd like to do those. I'm kind of like, I didn't really expect it. But she really enjoyed the pickleball. She said that the acting was kind of mid because there wasn't a lot of people in her class.
Yeah. Pickleball is great.
Yeah. Again, I don't fully understand the it's like a
it's like have it like life-size ping pong, if that helps.
Okay, because that was like tennis for slow kids. So
no, it's not easy. It's actually, I would say it's a little harder because it's so fast paced.
I'm sorry, did you say it's harder than tennis?
Yeah, because it's so fast paced. Hey, shitbag. I've done tennis. I've done pickleball. When was the last time you played tennis, big boy?
I haven't, but I'm just saying, as an outside looking in, I have to imagine that there's a lot more rigorous. Old people play pickleball. Old people don't play tennis.
Can I tell you the difference though?
Sure.
Because the participant is dictating the speed of the game. You understand what I'm saying? If you're playing with 20-year-olds, they're fucking launching the ball. If you're playing with it helps on a few reasons for older people, because again, if you're able to have maybe longer lobs as older people because the ball is taking longer to go over. But if the kids, if you're whacking the shit out of it, yeah. Good night, everybody. What are you jacking off? Yeah. And by the way, if you're in real quick, just hit that like button.
Hey, Barney.
Barney, what's up, buddy? Yeah, and people will start rolling in. We're just keeping it light until they get in. Don't worry, Veronica's Gaming. You will have people yelling "Big Orange Man bad" soon. Trust me, just happens.
Well, the one thing I can give pickleball, if we're going to give it any kind of credence, is at least it's a sport, so it has something over golf.
Whatever. Meanwhile, let me see you pick up the club. I almost said big boy again.
Again.
Yeah, pick up the club, big boy.
Again, I'm not disparaging golf. I'm just saying it's not a sport; it's an activity.
You got to be an athlete for it. Or athletic.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's the same thing with cheerleading. You're gonna call that a sport?
I will.
It's not. I told you, sport has to have a defense. If you don't have an active defense, it's not a sport. That's
Yeah, I'm not. I refuse to go back to episode 12. But I get
no.
it.
We'll talk about Muslims and go back to episode 135, 134, 125, 126.
I'm not gonna lie. And to be fair, you're the Muslim kid right now. Just so you know, let's be fair. You've taken my Muslim balls and and run with them. Okay, because honestly, let's be fair. I walk on freaking religious eggshells. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't, because I'll probably go to hell because of it, and I hope you're happy. But I do. I try to. I don't force anything on you ever. I'm actually quite the opposite. Be fair with that.
But how does that have religious? Because you're what part of it is?
What does that mean? You mean?
Yeah. Oh, good. Finally, we have a first leftist in chat. Go ahead.
Oh, good. First of all, I don't know how old you are, Janice Farmer, but it might be older. Old? Really? Come on. Seriously. You'd be lucky. You fucking be lucky, Miss Farmer.
Did we just find a second person with the last name Farmer?
I think we have. So let me read it out, though. Matter of fact, bring Janice up. I'm sure I can dig into her and fucking humiliate her somehow. No old white men walking around a cut lawn. It's not a sport. Requires no athletic ability.
Oh, she's making fun of golf. I can.
Oh,
not making fun of golf.
You know what, Janice? I am so sorry. I apologize. I was out of line. I was about to attack you. I'm so sorry. But that's Rex's fault because he summarized your message without reading it correctly. No, Janice, I don't believe that is just old white men walking around a cut lawn. Have you ever played, Ms. Farmer? Have you ever played? And Veron. You know what? Veronica's right now. I'm putting you to work. Veronica, give me maybe a recent poll or something. Is golf considered a sport? And then maybe a quick explanation. I appreciate it.
But again, I like to have again, I know you don't want to get into this, but it is a point of discrepancy. Like, what defines a sport?
Well, let's go there. That's what Veronica's is going to do. We'll go with what defines a sport first of all, and then we'll go into stats and what people. By the way, everybody, this is fourth mic is Veronica's Gaming. He's our guy, so make sure you check him out, help him out. Chad in chat says, "I am a leftist. What qualifies me as unhinged? I don't think you're unhinged.
And it depends on what you're qualifying yourself as a leftist for.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say professionals can. Hold on. What did he say? He also, Chad, this is talking about. Actually, let's go to Janice. Janice said, "Yes, I've played. It's boring. I'd rather play volleyball or softball." Janice, you're right up my alley with my girls. My girls play both, and I do love both of those sports. So I can't beat you up for that. But golf, I'm telling you, I play with my girl. She loves it. My parents, older people, they love it. So it's got a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, which definitely doesn't help with sports thing. But again, like I'm not saying that it doesn't take skill, it doesn't take talent. You have to work at it. I'm not saying it's not fun if you enjoy it. I've played a couple of times. I enjoy it. In order for me to parse these things out in my head, a sport.
But I've already answered your question about the defense thing. Do you want me to say it again?
Okay, tell me what the active defense is in golf.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Yes.
The water to your left or to your right, if there is any, the sand traps. The greens are fast. The greens are slow. The pin is put in different spots. The tee boxes are moved. Pardon?
But that's not active defense.
That is active defense. Every morning they change the course.
Incorrect, sir. That's like saying that the green monster is active defense. It's not. I'm saying
they don't shorten it the day before.
the people you're playing have to participate in some kind of defense.
Now you've moved the goalpost.
No,
now you've moved the goalpost.
Active defense. Defense is not the field of play, and it's certainly not active defense.
You know what? Can we have some comments on this? As far as, look, even if you don't, am I not right that the course, where there's sand traps, different bunkers, different hazards, that is defense.
It's not.
That is a defensive play on the course.
No, defense is a participatory act among your competitors. Yes, it is a competition. You're right.
But now you are just throwing in that defense has to be with someone you're against.
Of course it is.
You're against you play, but shitbag, you play the course. You don't. You're playing against the course. You're not really you're not playing against the person you're playing with per se. You're playing against the course. So you can't say that there's no defense.
So Chad said, is track not a sport? Correct. It is an activity. It's a competition. That's why they call it a track competition.
Okay, but yet you're going to tell me that there's no defensive plays that the runner next to you can do to cause you to not do as well? I'll run right in your drift. What are you, crazy?
I think you mean draft, but again, you have to, again, this is unless you have a better definition of a sport, which I'd love to hear.
I gave you one.
No, you didn't. You just said anybody that's fucking out in the field and the field changes, it's a fucking sport. That's not it.
No, you said defense. I said, okay, I'll give you defense.
But that's not defense. And I did say active defense. Even if you were going to say those are defense, those would be passive defenses, which I'm not even conceding the fact that it's a defense.
You're an insane person. You're an insane person. That's it.
Barney Bell, I will say I understand your point of horseshoes, but there is a defense. So I would consider.
Where's the defense in that? Was the guy tackling you when you fucking throw the shoe?
No, you can throw the shoe and knock the other guy's horseshoe off of a lean.
Okay, maybe my ball will hit your ball, knock it right out of the way. You're right by the hole, next thing you know, boop.
That's not a.
And again, different pin placement where the flag is. If the green, let's say the greens are a little bit hilly, right, and they roll left.
So
the pin
doing that.
Pardon?
So your opponent is moving the pin.
The opponent is the course, the guy who's running the course at that day. It changes.
No, your opponent is who you're playing against.
The course is your opponent. You actually have two opponents in golf. Makes it harder. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Win footer. W footer in chat, everybody. W footer. Matter of fact, I'm in chat. I'll put it myself.
Put a W there. That's fine.
W footsie.
I somehow think somebody's going to put L footer right after that.
Oh, well, I'm sure when you're married to the one that has some control of that, sure.
Hell yeah.
W. Oh, look at this. W footsie bear from Footer K1. God, look at him. He's handsome. And obviously witty and smart.
So Chad says a sport is an organized competitive activity requiring physical skill and exertion, governed by rules to determine a winner.
Okay, is that from the fucking Chad Webster dictionary? Or is that from did he pull that from? It sounds very organized where he pulled the definition from somewhere.
Well, again, you should like this because again, that would have golf fall into. But again, this also would imply that cheerleading is a sport. Do you believe cheerleading is a sport?
I'm going to go with the heavy chat with this one. I'm going to go with golf is a sport. This is from Veronic's Gaming. Golf is a sport. That doesn't mean it's fun to watch. You know what? I don't love watching it. I don't. Playing it for sure. Every once in a while, do I watch or do I want to watch like a good shot happen? Sure. And another thing is too, there's things that like you can do in golf that keep you going. Like you may get lucky and do something that a pro can do. It's very rare you're just going to step up, in batting practice and hit one out of the park.
Yeah, because one's a sport and one isn't.
Okay, no, you're missing the. I know. You know what? You want to twist my words. You're like the devil. Yeah, you're basically the devil. You're manipulating my words.
Fishing is a sport. Lumberjack is a sport. Log rolling is log rolling is a sport because you do have a defense.
Oh, what's the defense?
Because you have two people on a log and you can spin the other guy off. You're defending yourself.
I think they work together.
Again, now you're talking about your team. How are they working together? You're trying to get the other guy off. Whoa.
Yeah. Was you jacking him off?
It's Sunday. It's Lord's Day, Futter. Can you
All right.
reel it in a little bit? I don't want you having a big debate with fucking Karen again on Spotify.
What do you? Oh yeah.
Oh,
No.
whatever. It's Karen. We all know. It.
Yeah, exactly. There's no debate. She caught me. I saw it, and I gave her the real answer. And then later on, you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? You're like, why are you like giving her like real, like, why are you being like genuine? Don't do that. You're gonna ruin the vibe. But I did. I gave her like the real. Do you want to tell? Should I talk about it? You want to say what?
Yeah, sure. I will preface, I had no problem with your answer. I thought it was well thought out. I thought it was from your heart, and I think that it's exactly how you feel. However, it's boring as fuck, and nothing that will actually draw any sort of further debate on the conversation. So you had said, and I believe she had said something about some activity that you were participating in that actually was sort of counter to your Christian ideology, and again it was, but I don't think that you owe that to her, because again, God knows your heart, God knows where you're at. That's the only person you really have to answer to. So I said, why don't you just troll her a little bit, say that you know where you're going, why don't you worry about yourself, you dumb broad, something along those lines. And I think that probably would have been a little bit better of an answer, considering we try to do a comedy show sometimes.
Well, I did tag it from the show account and just wrote, "Mind your business, you godless sot." And she thought it was you. She's like, "Rex, you godless piece of shit." She just went off on you.
Oh, I didn't even say that. So
yeah, she thought it was you that said. She just called you godless, and you. Why don't you save me? And why don't you at least push me in the right direction? That type of thing.
Yeah, again, I think you're on a fine path. I think you're finding your way, and considering the fucking car wreck that you were, I think you're in a better place.
That's you know what? That's true. That's true. Very, very, very broken. But again, people find things in different ways to help them throughout life and get on the right path. And as far as, and again, I wasn't doing, it had nothing to do with like, and Rex, be honest, like I wasn't really living like this horrible life.
No,
you know what I mean?
Break the fourth wall and just make it real.
Yeah, no, I really wasn't living a horrible life. I just, my attitude and it just was not a productive way to live, to be healthy physically, spiritually. It's just.
Yeah, Barney says if somebody can slap you on the ass before you go to putt, then it's a sport. And you're going to bring up Deb and you got to smack each other's ass, and now it's a sport, right?
Bingo. Good night, everybody. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So basically, yeah, she brought up the whole I go around talking shit. I'm a Christian, and then I go around sinning, and called me a hypocrite. And my answer was genuine. I'm a sinner. I am a sinner. I am a hypocrite. And you know what? I should have. When I thought about that later, and I think I said to you, later on, I thought, like, I'm technically not a hypocrite, because it's not like I'm not going around condemning people for sinning. You understand what I'm saying? I'm if anything, I'm praying for them and hoping they don't sin, but I'm not going around and sinning myself. That's more hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? I am what I am doing is I'm doing exactly why Christ died on the cross for us. I'm being a human, and I'm fallible, and I sin. And can I say this real quick about something, to explain something which I heard one time and I thought it was great. And it comes down to almost like this, what's the word? Like the equivalency. So, equivocation type of deal. So if let's say, I did something, let's say, to you, right? And it was like a menial crime or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would pay the punishment that is equivalent to almost like your status, right? If I did the same crime, let's say against, like, let's say the president, my penalty would be so much more harsh. Fair?
Sure.
Or would be taking a lot more serious, let's say, right?
Mhm.
So it's the same thing. So you can never pay for a man dying on, God sending his only begotten son down in flesh to die for all of our sins. Like, you can never match up to that like equivalence. You know what I mean? So, and that's why it had to be done, was because we will always sin. You know what I mean? And we just have to, again, try to be better and repent and blah 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 blah. But you know what I'm saying? Like the it holds a lot more weight of what Christ did.
Yeah.
So you can never live up to that.
A VG in chat says, I can't be converted, but I let people try. I feel like allowing people a chance to share their her religion helps them. So what exactly is your belief? I know you said you're a pagan, but that's sort of ambiguous. What do you believe? Just out of curiosity.
And again, I don't really think that my whole thing with people is like, I won't even try to convert somebody necessarily, but I would most certainly encourage people to read the gospel. Like, go read, shit, even just go start with John in the New Testament. Just go read that. And if you can't say that doesn't make you feel good and it isn't amazing, then I don't know what to tell you. Now, then you go, well, this is, the people that don't believe, oh, this is just a story, made up book. Well, then I task you one better. Read it first. See if if you like it and it makes you feel good. And then start doing your homework into history. Josephus and Tacitus and a bunch of these different early historians.
What does the son of Hank Williams have to do with this?
And go look into the validity of the Gospels. So that would help you.
My suggestion would be, and again, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe, I believe in Christianity as a thing. I've said it many times. I just don't think that I'm to the point where I have achieved enough in my life to consider myself a Christian. So just put that out. My suggestion as far as religion, whether it is or whether there isn't, not even breaking it down into ideologies, but just answer the question, or try to think about the question, where does all this come from? So VG says, I follow the goddess Estrella, who is the goddess of balance, justice, and purity. I've been by those standards to the very best of my ability. My view on each point. So you are religious. You do have a religious bent. You just name it something different, which is fine.
Yeah. And again, there is nothing wrong with that, especially if it lets you lead a good life. But at the end of the day, and again, as much as I love you, unfortunately, it'll work for you in this life. But after that, you're in some trouble. If I'm right, if I'm not, then you're fine.
One thing I was thinking about, and I haven't really given it much thought, but maybe it's a clear-cut question. The sentence that people banter around about when Jesus was on the cross, he had said, God, why have you forsaken me?
Mm-hmm.
What do you attribute that to be?
It's the beauty of so great question. It's a fucking amazing. It's the most amazing thing in the world. What he's doing, he's fulfilling a prophecy, Psalms 22.
Do you want to expound on that, or?
Oh, he's giving you a quote and fulfilling the prophecy that was written 1,000 years prior to him being around. If you look up look it up. It's Psalms 22. He's quoting Psalms 22 is what he's doing, which is pretty amazing. So he's fulfilling a prophecy.
Yeah, because it's often taken as Jesus having doubt.
Yep. And let's all and especially when he's at the Mount of Gethsemane, when he's saying, if Father, not my will but yours, I'm saying, let this cup pass. I mean, listen, you got to remember, you know what I mean? When Jesus took on flesh, he had he has his divine nature, but he also took on human flesh, and he took on the human attributes, and he had that human will. So, like anything else, yes, he was upset, he was scared, he was nervous. But if you listen, he didn't say you got to remember, Jesus is God, so he was saying from the flesh, if there's another way this can get done, by my will. In the human flesh, if that can happen, great. But it's all about your will, God. And then he knew that this was the only way. This was God's will, So that's where that comes from. Yep.
VG says reincarnation is the most scientifically likely outcome of death. I'm not sure if it's scientifically likely, because in order for that to be the case, you'd have to believe in a soul. But I'm not totally against the idea of reincarnation. I wouldn't necessarily call it that, but I think that old souls can be recycled into new if you to me that's something that can be considered, and I think it can even be considered in Christianity as well.
And then just so you know, the quotes, Psalms 22 verse 1, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from my cries of anguish? So he was fulfilling the prophecy that was written 1,000 years prior to him existing with man, I should say. God always existed, Jesus always existed, because Jesus, remember, he was always with God, outside of time and space as the Word. Okay.
So there again, Jen found a couple of real doozies as far as clips to go. And there was one that had came up, and I had looked at this one in particular because how sometimes you can just look at somebody and it's almost like the Devil's Advocate, the movie. Like you can see the evil in them, just because of either how they've decided to live their life, they've become hardened, and there are some people, and the video that we're going to bring up is of I believe of a trans. It's hard to say. I can't tell if it's just a man in drag or somebody who believes that he is a woman. But there are several points in this video that you can see evil. You can see the demon. And I'm hoping that Footer can point it out. So the overall arching point of the story is that the individual who's taping, who by and large, by some accounts, is not in God's good grace either, because he does seem to do a little bit of taunting, but seems to be outside of like a carnival. And Jen can correct me if I'm wrong. But looks like it's outside of some kind of an activity or a place where kids are playing. And it looks to me that this car drives up and down and is kind of cruising the place a little bit. And the individual gets out of the car and confronts the guy who's videotaping. And it doesn't end well for the perpetrator, but this another left-right redneck debate, nothing in between, just like your typical American's ears. Ooh, I'm going to get back to you, Mr. or Mrs. Robertson.
Yeah, he won't hang around. He's scared. He'll say that and run to another chat and try to troll. He won't wait for you to respond.
Yeah, typically they'll do that. So anyway, here's how the incident
queer
went out.
Videotaping me?
Yeah. You just stopped in front of me.
Are you a creep?
Yeah, try.
No.
Fuck with little kids?
No. Why would you automatically go to that weird shit?
I asked you a question.
And I don't owe you answers.
Yeah, you do, because
no,
if you
I
fuck with little
don't.
kids, I'll fuck you up right here.
I don't fuck with little kids. I don't give a shit about little kids. Are you a little kid?
I was at one time.
Well, you're not now. You just act like a child. Fuck you.
Bitch,
go
do
away.
Something.
No.
Boy, you're
Touch
a fucking
me.
coward.
I am?
Yeah, you sit there and videotape me, but you won't do shit. You ain't got a man in your family.
You're
like
weirdo.
I was looking for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how many other times you were recorded driving down the road?
The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I drive down the fucking road.
And
I
there's
go
cameras
places.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's fucking
Do you
cameras
jump out and
everywhere.
act like a psycho with them too?
Can you pause that?
I can.
It's 2026. Who the hell's wearing a shawl? But like you can see, do you understand what I'm saying, Footer? By looking in the face,
I most certainly do. There, and you're 100% right. I've seen this on other videos. You can see the demon almost manifesting in her face. Watch her face contort. Watch how watch the blackened eyes, the deep set. You know what I'm saying? Again, could be the horrible makeup of a transsexual, but regardless, look, it's real. These people, and I don't mean these people meaning transgender. I mean people that encompass evil.
yeah.
Look at their face. It contorts. It changes.
Yeah, and we can just back it up a little bit, where he had said, she's like, or he, whoa, geez, where they had said, I was a child before, like the little smile there, to me, it sort of gives you the impression that, like, as she was a child or he was a child, something bad happened that maybe set this whole freak show in motion. Go ahead.
I agree.
No,
Boy, you're
Touch
a fucking
me.
coward.
I am.
Yeah, you sit there and videotape.
You're not now. You just act like a child. Answers.
Yeah, you do, because
No,
if you
I
fuck with
fucking
little
don't.
kids, I'll fuck you up
I
right
don't
here.
fuck with little kids. I don't give a shit about little kids. Are you a little kid?
Where'd this come from, though, Rex? I mean, like, what is the
Well, you're not
interaction
now.
for?
You just act like a child. Fuck you.
Bitch.
Go.
I thought I had kind of laid it out pretty well before, but there's a child, some kind of a, you can see like the colorful thing going on. There's some kind of an event where there's children in the back, and this individual in the beautiful crocheted shawl is driving up and down the road. So this guy starts videotaping this individual slowly driving up and down the road, and then this person decides to confront this individual videotaping, slides into the parking lot, gets out of the car, and then that's where the confrontation starts.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Something.
No,
Boy, you're a
Touch
fucking
me.
coward.
I am.
Yeah, you sit there and videotape me, but you won't do shit. You ain't got a man in your family.
You're
Like
weirdo.
I was looking for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how many other times you were recorded driving down the road?
The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I drive down the fucking road.
And
I
there's
go
cameras
places.
everywhere.
Yeah, there's fucking
Do you
cameras
jump out and
everywhere.
act like a psycho with them too?
I can.
Okay. Get the fuck out. Pepper
What?
spray.
What are you
the
gonna do, boy?
Oh, pepper spray the fuck out of
Oh,
you.
you're a fucking
Get your
bitch.
stupid fucking ass back.
Shut the fuck up.
Get
you
the
cunt.
fuck back.
You gotta just piss me off. I'll grab my shit.
You
right
won't do
now.
fucking shit.
I'll grab my
Get
shit.
the fuck back.
Oh, that's a dude.
Fucking idiot.
I'm sorry, you took me this long to
Jesus
figure that out.
Christ.
Well, I just looking.
You gonna put a helmet on?
Fuck.
It's backwards,
Boy,
dumb
pepper
shit.
spray me, you fuck.
Go mind your business. Fucking go away and mind your business.
Get my shit.
Go away. Go away.
What's up?
You gonna threaten me with a fucking taser? Are you stupid? Get the fuck back.
I ain't gonna lie. That's a pretty good move.
Because you're fucking
Yeah.
coming up at me aggressive,
real.
you dummy. You're trying to fucking attack me. Of course I'm gonna
I
self-defend
didn't
myself.
attack you. I'm trying to get you to fight like a man.
Go away.
When I felt like a
I
man,
don't want shit to do with you. You're unstable and fucking weird. Go home.
Yeah, I mean, you're yelling. You have
Go
little
home.
boobies. Why are you yelling?
Go home. Go
Fucking
home.
lame.
Go fucking
Where I
cry
just
somewhere
came
else.
from.
I don't give a
I
shit.
just gotta have my fucking phone
I
stolen.
don't fucking
All
care.
kinds of shit.
I don't fucking care.
Bitch.
Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me.
Fucking punk.
Get the fuck. I'm gonna
Fuck
get you
you.
more. Get the fuck out of here. I fucking told you 10 times.
Fuck.
I fucking told you 10 times. Didn't I?
Fuck
on,
you.
dude. All right,
I
keep
fucking
pausing.
told you.
Shut up.
it's
You
almost over.
Okay, sorry.
fucking piece of shit. Ah.
Fucking come at me with a taser? You out of your fucking mind?
Fuck.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, even that, like, look at her reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like she's she's unhinged, unrelated to her mental issue. You know what I'm saying? As far as dressing like a woman, you know, like there's her reaction is that's not a normal reaction.
No.
And Brenda Create says real quick, you provoke people for views. I'm assuming you're gonna mean the guy with the camera, because I don't, you know, who are we provoking? You know?
Yeah, and doing things to create views is kind of the space. You know what I mean? So whoever
She can't mean us. Yeah, she can't.
right
Mean us.
and now, I don't fully exonerate the guy who's taking the video, because he should have, and we've said this about Alex Preddy and Renee Good and a lot of it, like, and especially
we were fair. Yep, and we were fair even with some of the ICE agents. You know what I mean?
Right.
For allowing them to even get that far.
Okay, so the man with the camera has a weapon. It is pepper spray. It is incumbent upon him to de-escalate, and he's not doing that. Now again, is he within the bounds of the law? Probably. But
let's find out. Let's find out if he's on the law from Veronica's Gaming. Sure, give us the run us the. I think I know it, but kind of run us through. So where do you think this stands legally, Veronica's? Oh, okay, that's what. Yeah, she means the guy. It's not right to video people to trigger them, so you get views. Here's the problem, though, Brenda. Once you start stifling people from videotaping in public spaces, because by law you can. Because I'm the same. Like when they do like those audits and stuff, when people go around doing like this First Amendment audits, some of them don't do it right at all. You know what I mean? I think that they are provoking, and of course it's for views. But I think the onus is on the person that is. Look, if you don't want to be videotaped by somebody that's holding a video camera in public, there's a quick fix to that, and that's not to attack them or approach the camera. If you tell me you don't want to be on camera and you approach me as I'm holding a camera, you know what I'm saying? Like that's on you. You know what I mean? If I didn't want to be videoed, I'd walk away. If they followed me, now you're dealing with something different. Now you're almost dealing with a harassment issue. You see what I'm saying, Brenda? So again, you have to be fair to both parties.
Yeah, I mean the guy was obviously fishing and hooked a big one here, but again, he because he has a weapon on him, and again, just so happens that the other person also had a taser and a helmet. Once the person came up to him and started freaking out, he should have stopped video, or at least said, "All right, I'm sorry." He should have de-escalated because he has a weapon. He should have de-escalated anyway because there's no reason to be an asshole. However, the other person got every fucking bit of what they deserved for continuing to push, even though he knew that the other person had pepper spray. You're an idiot for keeping to go.
Yeah. What did Veronica say?
I'll bring it up. I disagree. He was assaulted the moment he got within arm's distance in an aggressive manner. Also, attempts to stand down were made. The only thing I disagreed with was presenting the weapon.
Okay, so he pulled out the pepper spray a little early, maybe. Yeah. Brenda says they put their cameras on a stick and peek over fences. Again, if you're peeking into, you gotta understand the rule, though. You know what I mean? The rule is anything that I can see with my eyes in public and from a public space, I can videotape. So even if I'm in front of your home, let's say on the street, and I'm videotaping, right? And even if you have, let's say you have a big bay glass window in the front, and I'm zooming in and getting into your home, I'm 99.9% sure that the onus is on you to close the shades. Because
that's what place.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I because again, it's anything you can see in public with your own eyes. If you're videotaping it, it's legal. And the onus, you in public, you do not have the expectation of privacy. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand that. So, and BC says, I understand what you say. If you deliberately provoke someone, I kind of think you're a part of the problem. Without a doubt, part of the problem. But I don't know if legally that's going to help. What if you're in your backyard and it's your children? Again, if you have a privacy fence and they are going over the privacy fence with like a stick or something, I would think that you have a pretty good case against them for infringing on your privacy. You know what I'm saying? And legally speaking, and not if someone's doing that to my kids, I would be in jail because I'd jump out and beat the fuck out of them. But
yeah, now
their choice.
in the defense of the videographer, it does look like, again, there is some kind of a child event going on, and this car is going up and down the road in a going what's that? Going in a slow pattern back and forth, you know, like a predator, and which I believe is the original intent of him videotaping. And
but again, big fucking leap. You know what I'm saying? Understandable, but again, big leap, tough to justify. But
Right.
but you can justify videotaping them. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But to be like, why I'm doing it, you really don't owe them an explanation. You're in public. Anything my eyes can see, I'm doing.
Right. And like the bits and pieces of the issues that I have is that when the person is walking back to the car, he continues to provoke this individual.
Yep.
You're a bitch, you're a punk, you're not going to do shit, that kind of things. Like, once the person starts walking back to the car, and the situation has been somewhat mediated, it's incumbent upon you to not keep provoking the person to come back. Either way, the tranny is a freak, and
Ronnie's game, he said, nothing indicated the recorder having intentionally provoked the engagement. There is no evidence to support that claim. I agree.
Intentionally, you're right. You're 100% right. I'm talking about after the original engagement.
Oh, I agree with you there. Yep. And he said, it's not a big leap. I'm a security guard. I would have recorded them too. Yes. No. Remember what I said. I said it's a big leap to assume that they were a predator or doing something nefarious, driving back and forth. I didn't say that you shouldn't record them. You have every right to record them. You know what I mean? But to automatically assume this predatory behavior is a little tough.
So VG is a security guard. We find out more about Veronix. Interesting.
I love it. He's the man.
Now, you were like an interior building, exterior building, a security guard at a gate, just out of curiosity. I think everybody wants to know.
Yeah. And security guards, they kind of need to remember what they are there for as well. You know what I'm saying? They're there to observe and report. You know what I mean? They shouldn't really be getting hands on. In my
That's
opinion.
True. Unless there's an event happening, as far as like somebody not necessarily breaking and things or whatever, but if somebody's being assaulted, it is your incumbent upon just being a man to jump
sure. Right. But again, if you're there and you're witnessing someone breaking into the facility that you're securing, your first and foremost is to call law enforcement, because you're not that. You know, and again, that's not a knock or nothing bad, you know. You're authorized to make contact if needed, but I never had to. Well, again, and that's a very broad stroke of a brush. Make contact if needed. There has to be some parameters around that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you should, and well, you probably can't call in now, but you should call in if you have any good securing stories.
Yeah, or you can even email us, VG, if you have like a story that you want to talk to about, and you can even leave a voicemail, a video mail message, or whatever. We can play it on the show as well.
And hey, there's someone that Jay, my friend Jay, and I, Jay's friends with her, and she's doing actually some music and stuff. But I'm gonna have her on the show for she grew up in a cult.
Ooh,
and she has like her whole story of coming out and all of that. So, yeah, she was actually going to come on today, but I don't know what happened
there. So there's a protest that was going on. I believe this wasn't in Maine. I don't remember exactly where this was, but was it New York? Yeah, the crowd definitely feels New York. And this is again has not a whole lot of context. It's really more about making fun of the person giving the speech, because there's a lot of meat on the bone, no pun intended. But what she's actually espousing is, I think, in the right situation, could also be deemed criminal, because she's basically inciting a riot for people to break the law. So anyway, here's that video.
ICE disappearing people in the streets, will you get in the way? Yes! If you are charged with enforcing any part of the president's unlawful executive orders, will you resist? Yes! If your neighbor needs a place to hide, will you hide them? Yes! And right now, as the Maine legislature is trying to scapegoat transgender student athletes bargaining long-held civil rights away in hopes that it will save Maine's federal funding, will you show up for them and say that our human rights aren't for sale? Yes! Thank you.
But I find it amazing. There's a lot of part of this, but the part that I find absolutely amazing visually is how huge her bicep area of her arm is and how small her arm is.
I thought about that too. Yeah, that is one big ass fucking. I've got 22-inch pythons, brother.
Yeah. Again, I have no idea how that even happens naturally. Clearly, the heavy set woman.
Well, I think everything is packed in. Like she looks like a sausage link. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
you cut the casing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And has the body of Charlie Daniels, but like I just don't understand even how. I don't know if she was much heavier at one point and she's lost some weight, but like the form itself is fairly tight. But then after that, it really breaks away. Really breaks away.
And the thing that though, what guys like, and I could 100% be wrong here, okay, but and maybe it's just that they don't come across my feed much, but I don't usually see right wing activism being represented in that way. It's very over dramatic. It's very it does seem mentally what's the word? Like there's some she's mentally compromised, and a lot of these people are too. First of all, my opinion, because of your haircut, the way you're dressed, all of those things. But let me try to, for a minute, I'll blame that on oldie man foots, right? Why do they have to just look a certain way and fit a certain? Optically, you should have some sort of wherewithal. But let me go with you're talking to mechanics, you dress like a mechanic type of deal. Okay, I'll grant you that. But again, even your delivery, like it's so off-putting in every way. Who looks at that? Like, honestly, like, let me be perfectly honest when you're asking, how do you look at that and feel a sense of inspiration? Can you honestly look at that and feel a sense of inspiration? I can't believe for a minute that you do. And if you say, well, I like the message that she's saying. Okay, then can't you call out the optics? Or don't you think there would be a better representative for your cause than that young lady?
Yeah, and I think that it's inherent of far left speech that it almost always pairs with somebody who is exhibiting mental decline.
Yes,
hard to disagree with that. I mean,
Rex, you can't disagree with it, because let me go mainstream. Okay, you have, let's say, Bernie Sanders, for example, right? Mm-hmm. He's a disheveled mess.
Yes,
he looks like a disheveled science teacher from 7th grade. Chalk on his pants. You know what I'm saying? Hair all wacky askew. Like it is consistent even at the highest mainstream levels.
Yeah, I mean, you have Premier Jayapal. You have the woman from Minnesota.
What's the old purple head lady?
Oh yeah, the one from Connecticut. Her too.
Right. But you see what I'm like? There's no need for this.
Right. And even if you're going to take somebody who, does everything to look the part, he looks like a demon. And Gavin Newsom. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing about him that he looks like he was built in a lab or in hell. You know what I mean? Like he looks evil. He presents as evil, and it is. And people could say like, well, Donald Trump looks crazy too. Yeah, but he's also 80 years old, and 99% of his life, he was a
he lived in a bubble.
Yeah, he lived in a bubble. So. But if you're going to sort of compare like even apples to apples, like, okay, let's take our most virulent right wing person on our side that espouses the most far right type of
I'm thinking of somebody, by the way, so I'm going to see if you are going to talk about this. I'm thinking about someone specific. Go ahead.
But he doesn't look crazy. He dresses nice, and it's Nick Fuentes. You know what I mean?
That's not who I was thinking.
Who were you thinking?
I was thinking, believe it or not, JD Vance.
Okay, yeah, he's a little bit more mainstream, but yeah.
Well, because I was trying to think of like, because now he was wearing the your normal Republican guy suit when he was on Rogan, but my point is like whether you believe or support Vance or not, I almost feel like that's a pretty good representation of where I would want like I want somebody that can say, oh, it's a bunch of bullshit type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But articulate an argument. You know what I'm saying? But show the pie in the sky weirdness as well. You know what I'm saying? Like but like there's a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think the left keeps missing when you have these whack jobs representing your views.
Did you say something about whack jobs representing your views?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen. Get out of chat. Pay attention. Stop flirting with Barney. Maron. You can't even say Maron right, and you're Italian. Maron. Just play one of the fucking videos, woman.
With the trans community, like we're being dehumanized.
Right.
They say that we want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom. And if they want me to use the men's room, I will, but I don't want to be assaulted.
Okay. You won't be. Trust me. You will not be assaulted. There's no way you will be assaulted. You'll be assaulted. You go into the woman's room.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll beat the shit out of you for being in there. That's Mr. Ashley Webb, and he is trying to run for the vacated primary that Graham Plattner had to give up in Maine. So
did you happen to see any more of that? Did you get any more of that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because oh boy, he's got some doozies. I saw it. Did I send it, or just we both watched it?
We both watched it, I think.
Okay.
Don't put that before my eyes again. Hold on to your hat, Veronica.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, really, yeah. Get your cocks in hands, everybody.
Mm-hmm. So he's running for the
about to get sexy up in this bitch.
There's a couple of them, and there's even one that's even almost weirder than that. But here he is on a. Why
does he look like he's the lead singer from Corpse Grinder? Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Guar, but yeah, for sure. No, Cannibal Corpse. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse. Chris Barnes.
Yeah. So here's another video of this stout fellow.
What qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
This is the best.
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
I'm sorry. Did he say he wouldn't try to deceive people?
Says the man wearing the dress.
Goodness gracious.
That's funny.
Go ahead.
We get lied at smoke and mirrors. Like, what's going on with ICE, pretending like these victims did something wrong. Like, that's unacceptable. And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Oh, you'd be their worst nightmare, all right. Your worst nightmare for every parent as well, sir.
Yeah.
Madonna mia.
Almost.
Yeah, revival. Yeah, he said, stick to the glory hole, buddy. He meant you, Rex.
I'm there, kid.
Okay.
Either side too. I'm kind of open to suggestions. I swear, if this show didn't show that visage, is that a word? Probably is. It's just beyond me. Would make me leave. Yeah, well, that's what we do. We hook you with the banter, and then we show you stuff that's going to make you not sleep very well.
Yeah, CRXR is 100% right. That is 1970s Meatloaf in a dress. He really is. That's so funny.
That is. It's funny how it represents so many other people, and none of them are women.
That is so funny.
Oh,
hold on, let's see what Esteb 958 Munchausen syndromes closely mirror the trans ideology perfectly, right down to the suicide rate.
That's a great point.
I was gonna say that's very interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, and I've often said that the leftists in general is a Munchausen by proxy, is that they cause a whole bunch of problems and then they say we're the only ones that can solve it. But yeah, the psychological mechanism I think is the same, and I believe you're right.
And I love your selling point. Like you said, first of all, you don't want, it's all smoke and mirrors. You know what it says, the man in a dress, and then you have him going, oh, now you make me feel more comfortable. I'm an angry citizen, and I'd be an angry congressman. Oh, okay. Well, that seems that's something I want. I don't want you to be reasonable, logical. You know what I'm saying? And maybe work across the aisle to get things done. I want you to be angry. Yeah, that'll work.
And even for prep for this, I'm like, I was in my head, I was going to try to come up with some kind of a joke to be like, this is who's representing Maine, a state that's so famous for, and I'm like, let me look up some famous people from Maine. Other than like Stephen King and Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain from like the Civil War, dude, there's nobody from fucking Maine. Like that state is a fucking L.
And remember, Stephen King's best years in Maine, he was locked up writing, coked out of his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And legitimately, stopped, doing 4 8 balls to write a paragraph. And look how his career kind of took a tumble.
Oh, I think Judd Nelson is also from Maine. So those are your top 3. So again, it's not
like The Breakfast Club.
Never saw it. I never saw Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
I never saw Pretty in Pink because I'm not gay, but Breakfast Club is great.
Candles, all those guys, like those.
Oh, that was great too.
Yeah, But whoa, I'm sorry. Pretty in Pink, you're not gay, but 16 Candles, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No, the opposite.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gay. 16 Candles. I am gay. Pretty in Pink. Whoa. Saw that coming. I'm gay and I'm pretty in pink. Good night, everybody. Why do I have 1960s gay guy? I can't do the.
That was very Bruce Valanche. It really was.
Yeah.
And Emilio Estevez. Somebody, Veronix, can you look this up?
Where'd that come from?
Well, we're just talking about people of that era. In those types of movies, but like, is Estevez the actual family name or is it Sheen?
Always the way, by the way, Veronix. They always do that. No, it's Estevez is the real name. That I know. But you nailed it there because that's what happens a lot with these fucking artists. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's music, whether it's writing, whatever. It's always they always have to insert their big fat political freaking ideology into their shit, and then they lose their artistic grind. Because again, to be artistic and be, let's call it quote unquote punk rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have some sort of a nuanced approach, and they don't. They're look, your left-wing radical ideology is not left-wing radical anymore. It has now become sort of this mainstream internet fucking position. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're not being punk rock if you're left. anymore. Those days are over.
You know, and speaking of Stephen King, and Jen brings it up in chat, Gerald.
I'm going to pee but I can hear you.
All right. So Gerald's Game was a not so famous book, but definitely a book. But you can also apply this to Misery, It, The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, other things that Stephen King wrote, where he just inserted, pardon the pun, inserted ridiculously overt sexual deviance where it wasn't needed. In Gerald's Game, you know, the woman who's in the bed, I'll just give you a kind of a brief thing. This woman and her husband go to like this cabin in Maine or whatever, and they're into kinky stuff. She ends up being handcuffed to the bed. Then the husband dies with the door open and things happen or whatever. But like she starts recalling times when she was a kid and her dad had her on her lap and weird things happened. Again, not needed. You know, in the book, It, the only way they could get rid of the demon is if all of the guys had sex with Beverly. You know, in Shawshank, you know, Andy gets raped. Again, like there was a lot of stuff that just doesn't need to be in there, but he shoehorned a lot of this stuff into his book because he's a sexual deviant. So Veronica says, I've decided to try to ignore people that like that and try to keep viewing them for what they do. I think Pedro Pascal is a very good actor, for instance. And if I had saw anything like past like 2019, I'd probably know who Pedro Pascal is.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
I still know who Timothy Chalamet is, and I keep seeing his name pop everywhere.
Well, I know him for the sexiness factor. So.
Oh, okay. Again, yeah. I choose not to be in tune with a lot of these things.
Yeah, do me a favor, everybody, if you can, just hit that like button. It helps the algorithm, helps you guys get people in here, and we could you guys can fight and argue with each other. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So there was another story about a gay cruise ship. I'll go ahead and let everybody unbuckle.
I'll be there.
I assumed you were there already. That was taking a European trip, and I believe, and again, I believe everybody had flown to the UK, and then it was going to go sort of the route through the Mediterranean, you know, stop in Italy and Greece, of course. Why would they not stop in Greece?
And let me pause you for a minute too. Like, this is the sad thing, and I'd like to hear the pushback against this. Okay, gay cruise. Okay,
yeah.
Right? Are you going to tell me that there's not going to be more sexual debauchery going on in that cruise than there would be a secular, or however you want to call it, cruise, meaning a non-gay cruise? So can you honestly tell me that there's not going to be more sexual debauchery? If you can, I'm not booking the cruise. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot promise you that. And even from the B-roll in this, I can kind of assume that that's probably going to be the case. Anyway, so they booked this cruise, the Carnival cruise or whatever.
And it shouldn't be overtly sexual, Rex, just because it's a gay cruise.
It shouldn't be, but I honestly think that a lot of times that's the whole point. So anyway, they had a little bit of a problem. They had left Greece and they were going to, I believe, I don't know. I know they were going to Turkey where they had the problem. But there was a couple of other places that they also ran into this problem. But this is what happened when they arrived in Turkey.
And how'd they know it was a gay cruise, by the way?
Second time this week, a gay cruise in the Mediterranean was denied entry. The Turkish government banned travelers from docking because of, quote, moral standards. At least 1,000 Americans are on board, including passengers from South Florida.
Thomas Barker is from Miami. The 10-day trip was a gift to him from his husband.
And so there are thousands of men who come to the ship to celebrate and to feel free to be who we are without any fear of homophobia.
Why do you need so much celebration? Like, it's always, this month is for celebration. This day is for, we need to celebrate.
And what are we celebrating? I would like to know what we're celebrating. Please give me a clear synopsis of what exactly are you celebrating?
Butt fucking without kids.
Good night, everybody.
All right, go ahead.
Or to be able to be ourselves in a public space.
But that freedom of expression was challenged when the ship tried docking in Turkey. The government unexpectedly.
Because they need
I love
to
how
be,
this. Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say because they need to be in a public space without Can you just rewind it again? Just a little
I'm sorry,
bit.
Rex, that was my fault.
It's all right.
But that freedom of expression was challenged when the ship tried docking in Turkey. The government.
Free to express themselves in a public space. Okay, why do you need to express yourself? And I assume by that you mean butt fucking with no kids. Why is that needed? I don't understand.
Well, that's what I keep asking of I need some clarification what that means. What's the celebration for? What's the expressing yourself? I don't quite get that. Again, I wouldn't want to see a bunch of heterosexual people getting off the ship and making out or grabbing ass. Again, if they're holding hands, it does whatever. Hold hands. Like I don't get. But my point is, this overtly sexual thing isn't gonna be something that should be palatable for, quite frankly, for anybody in any country. And also, God, think about taking a black light to those fucking cushions afterwards on the deck. Oof.
Goodness gracious, they just see my tongue marks everywhere.
Yeah. What are you doing? I got a black light connected to my tongue. Don't worry.
Go ahead.
Government unexpectedly denied the ship entry because of what they call moral standards. Authorities posted this online. Translated in English, it says, a cruise ship chartered by a group known for behavior that does not align with the values and moral standards of our society and that had generated significant concern among various segments of the public has been canceled. It is absolutely out of the question that this group will come to our...
Let me make a great point. And yeah, I said it. I'm going to make a great point.
Do it.
The same people that would yell at you and tell you Pakistan should be able to do whatever they want. It's their country. If they're okay with, it's their culture. 12-year-old girls can get married to a 52-year-old man. That's their culture. Okay. Right. We shouldn't be impeding on their culture. And yet it's their culture to not want this lifestyle being in their country. Again, whether they're right or wrong, I'm not even commenting on. I'm commenting on the fact of they have every right to deny what they fear is morally wrong, or we need to be consistent with holding to that same ideology. Is that fair?
Yeah. Can you bring up DSS there?
It might not have been as brilliant as I thought.
No, it was perfect. I'm just annoyed at this stupidity. So many morons crying about woke instead of being decent people. No, we're crying about people being indecent.
I don't think he meant us.
I think he did. I think.
What do we do? But okay, but hold on. Let me read. So
homosexual,
crying about woke instead of being decent people. Who's crying about being woke? We didn't. That's not crying about being woke, is it? We're crying. We're not. I'm like, we're crying for other reasons. Yeah. No, we're trying. I'm trying to point out something that. Actually, I'm not even pointing out anything. I'm asking you, what is the celebration that exactly is being celebrated? If it's a sexual lifestyle, I don't believe that should be celebrated in any way. Therein lies me being a decent person, in my opinion.
Well, and even the news announcer playing both sides of the so-called moral standards. Well, I mean, there are moral standards, and they are fairly universal. You can just say the so-called standards, but when you apply moral standards, there is an actual definition for that. Actually, the same thing is seen in most leftist debate streams and right-leaning streams. What specifically?
Okay. Oh, by the way, my girl is making me peach pancakes today.
That sounds absolutely awful.
Fuck you. Are you kidding me? So nice fried, like a nice peach fried and a pancake batter over. Are you joking me? What, do you don't like peach, you fucking communist?
I'm not a huge fan of peach. Peach tea is the worst thing ever made.
Your ass is the worst thing ever made.
Dude, are you seriously? You're gonna tell me you like a fucking peach iced tea Snapple?
Not Snapple, but I like a peach iced tea. If I see it, I'll order and try. I'll try a mango iced tea as well.
I'm open to mango, but peach is disgusting. Woke just means logically incapable of being reasonable. That's fairly logical there.
Could be applied. Yeah.
My mother-in-law booked a room in Vegas and didn't know there was a swinger convention going on in that hotel. True story. Well, how did it go? How'd she do?
Yeah. And then was she impressed by hanging the pineapple upside down and getting knocks at her doors at 2 a.m.?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you get the pineapple?
They supply it's on actually cruise ships. There's swingers cruise ships. And again, not cool with that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think there should be specifically. Now again, personally, I don't think you should be living that lifestyle.
Oh, but
a man. What's up, Bikesh? But with that being said, yes, I before being a Christian, I was a horrific person. I've engaged in a lot of things I wasn't happy about.
Is that what you know about the pineapple on the ship?
Yes, it's because that's why I'm aware of it. Not saying I participated. I'm just saying that's why I'm aware of it. Let me pull this guy. Deviant behavior is a slow death. That's America today. You see it again.
Bikesh.
That's Bikesh today. Yeah, what's up, Bikesh? Yeah, but Bikesh, everything you said is fine until the America today part. You want to change that to the world today? I mean, the nerve of you to insinuate that America is more deviant and or less deviant than someone else. The deviance around this world is horrific. If you want to bring it down to micromanaging as far as socially, okay, let's say homosexual behavior and the way we allow it to thrive in this country, sure. Maybe that is something that is deviant behavior that we need to maybe correct. With that being said, go look in other cultures and other countries and go pick something else. Maybe it's not gay behavior, but it's something that we would deem very deviant behavior. Stoning someone in your family because they choose not to believe in the faith is deviant behavior. So,
oh, by the way, Bikesh, a little bit of a breaking news. We actually have a new sponsor. And this may actually be able to be somebody that you can pick up for your shows. A little bit odd. We were reached out by somebody who runs an Islamic and this is their new ad pitch for their the Tao of Power.
Who is God? Why am I here? Are white Christians the infidels who need to be destroyed? Is Islam right for me?
You bet your asuk it is. Hello, friends. I am Al-Zut, and this is the Tao of Power. You have questions, and we have answers. Women are always coming up to me and saying, Al-Zut, what makes you the king of Quran? And I tell them, do not talk to me without the man and leader of your family present, or I will behead you in the street. You want to read hadith? You got it.
Talking right over the music.
You want a free Quran? You got it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dawah of Power. It is not all serious at Al-Zut's Dawah of Power. Dawah Bill will bust rhymes on halal foods and hating Jews. And for the kids, we have pin on the go. Ow, my penis. Muhammad's lust for kids. It's nasty.
I wonder why it's not
on
getting traffic.
Ramadan, we're fasting. Al-Zut and Dawah Bill loves dancing. You've got it.
Yes, Tao of Power.
So I believe that's in Rockledge, New Jersey. So if you want to go check them out, that's where they're speaking the word.
Yeah. And real quick, let's go to let me go to CRXR. So what are we talking about here? A pride parade versus grooming gangs? Why are let me ask you this. Why are we not listen, I think what you're doing is you're getting upset about the equivocation between the two, like one being so much worse than the other, and that's fine. But the problem is, let's find a line, let's find a gauge, and I think that we can both agree that if we set a gauge, I think that it would both be over the line. Is that fair to say, CR XR? You know what I mean? Maybe not equivalent. Grooming gangs, maybe 1,000, 1,000,000 times more. Okay. But yeah. Every time that fucking piece of shit opens his hateful mouth, he lies.
You talking
Talking
about
about you, Rex.
Nah, I got you first.
No, I don't know if you did. But Linnell Aubrey, what are we lying about? And which one are we talking about here?
My guess, if
Rex?
I had a guess, they're probably talking about Trump. Just fucking
right.
busting in, and
Mm-hmm.
Islam is a tool of confusion, just like American Christian values. Again, you're speaking nonsense again, Bakash.
And I love Bakash, I love you. But you're a little bit of a hack. America was established on evil. Look at its history. Again, but you're all about the poor plight of the black man. You know what I'm saying? Like that I don't know what more to do. You know, with that. It's just, you know, what Bakash, what would you like me to do? You want me to coddle you? Do you want to be coddled? Is that what you want? I think that's so much more oppressive. You know, poor. You want me to say poor you? You know, I don't quite know what you want. You know, that's what kind of bothers me.
The fact is, whatever God you believe, and again, I don't know exactly where
he believes in Yahweh.
Yeah, our my point is that we were established as a country, defeating we were a small castaway country that beat one of the biggest militaries ever known to man. Every single point in our evolution, Civil War, 1812, World War I, World War II, Korea, every single time we should have lost, we didn't. We actually won and became stronger. So somebody's shining down on us. Who do you think that is? And we were based in a Christian value society. I would say that if we were doing something that the big man didn't like, maybe he would have smited us. Did you see smote? I don't see no smote here.
You don't want no smoke. You don't want that smoke. Speak historical truth, not white pride. Okay, you want historical truth? African people enslaved black people and sold them to white Europeans. Historical truth.
Enslaved black people.
Historical truth. Does that make you feel better? The devil gives power too.
So you're allowed to sit there and be proud of being black, but we can't be proud of being white?
No, how dare you? No, you can't do that.
I guess.
Yeah. How dare you do that? Again, it's just so hypocritical, Prakash.
Yeah.
And again, I'm telling you, I fucking dude, I love you, man. The problem is because I think that even if I sat there, let me ask you this. Let's just go with and we won't get into the debate, but I know this is something that we both disagree. I know we disagree on as far as like Jesus being God, right? So we won't even debate that right now. But is there anything that I would do or that I could do to prove to you that? Because I think it would be like that old atheist type of thing where they're so enthralled in what they believe that no matter what you did, and let's say that there's an atheist sitting there and the body of Christ came down, looked him in the eye and said, "I am real, believe me." They would immediately go to some sort of they were hallucinating. You know what I'm saying? It would never be what it is. So my point is, I think it would be the same for you. I don't think there's anything that we can do that would change your mind, even if it was accurate, logical, reasonable. And as far as my Christianity goes, I say to you, it's the opposite. There's a lot of times when I'm listening to debates or there's an argument made where I feel that the person that I would be more aligned with drops the ball and cannot answer the question. And I'm not able to answer the question because of a new Christian. I immediately go, first of all, I would say, I don't know. And I immediately go and try to find answers to that question. And I've always been fortunate where I'm able to rely on the Bible, church fathers, early historians to give me a better answer to where something can be plausible or not. But I don't think that you apply those same things because your agenda is so ingrained And it's a shame. To me, I feel like it is something that's the devil. The devil's giving you your power. It's feeding into this ideology where you've been oppressed so bad that you feel like this revolution is the only way that you're able to dig out, and you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Yeah, and again, I constantly have this overriding suspicion, Bikesh, that you're very disingenuous as far as your beliefs, because again, you come across as somebody who is quite intelligent, and you espouse nonsense to a cult-like belief that excludes 99% of the populace and seems to play to ignorant black people that are downtrodden and forsaken, which is the hallmark, the footprints of a cult. So I would hope at some point you would either own up to that or change your ways to something that's a little bit more honest and forthright.
Yeah, and Mandami's getting just absolutely. I believe I just saw something recently that he proposed an 18% tax. I mean, excuse me, 18% salary increase for him and his administration. Can you imagine sitting there and having someone tell you how you need to set your air conditioner at a certain temperature, and going around villainizing anybody that's thriving, and that wants to do something more for themselves, make more money, maybe just advance somehow in society, and then that same person that's poo-pooing you is giving themselves an 18% increase in wages. How do you reconcile that?
Well, to your point, here is his rent czar speaking about housing in New York.
City is turning the corner on tenant power. When we organize, we win results. The Mamdani administration is emboldening us so that we no longer tolerate the violence of evictions.
Guys, I mean, can we be can we please be adults here?
Sure.
Can we and I mean like, guys, look, I feel like Candace, guys, but I gotta be honest with you. How can you not see that this is your representation? Like this woman in the bucket hat and the mask, like she's standing behind the most powerful mayor in the world.
It's like Gilligan ate the skipper. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he's standing there smiling. And how about the woman behind her to the left wears a little makeup before she goes on TV? That's number one.
The one from
How dare you?
The one from American Gothic painting, yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. Can you yeah, where's your pitchfork, lady? So I mean, like, how about somebody tells her, "Hey, do me a favor. If anything, can you lose the bucket hat?" Like, you know what I mean? If it's a bared hair day, fine. Keep the bucket hat. Take the mask off. Like there has to be someone trying to give her some sort of a guidance, because that's not a good representation. It's not a good fucking look.
Old fat, gosh.
Yeah, we'll get
sit tight, gosh.
Yeah.
And I bet Esteb is doing a great job today in chat. 4 Christian churches have been burned in New York since Mandami took office. I didn't know that was the fact. That's absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, VG, yes, you did hear violence of evictions, if that's a thing. Yeah, we'll just play this out and then we'll.
As a matter of business as usual. My landlord owns dozens of buildings, but he is not a steward of the public trust.
Like, that's his job, is to be the steward of the public trust. No, he's there to make money off of rent. That's what they're supposed to do. What's going on, Bakash? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, B?
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Always,
always, brother.
you know, everybody's trying to make money, man. Everybody's trying to make money. It's how you make your money. That's what determines if you're righteous or unrighteous. I think that the white American way and standard is of Satan. They've always made, well, for the most part, they have established their power through evil and murder, and that's why I kept saying.
Give me an example of that.
But wait, hold on. So then you want to then let's say you're talking about this all white only OnlyFans that goes on because there's nobody of color. It's only white America.
I'm talking about
this unrighteous money grab.
I'm talking about historically.
Okay,
White
give me a specific example.
Even your white women are saying that white men are a detriment and an evil to the world. Even your white women are saying that. So I mean, just
can you give me a specific example
of what?
Of what you just said? You said America is example of a business that is ran specifically by white people, specifically evil.
I'm saying the land that you're sitting on right now, that you're doing this podcast that you're doing your podcast currently, is stolen land
from who?
You butchered from the North American Indians.
Which ones?
I don't know where you live at, and I don't know the history.
Okay, so say so.
But we don't. Good. I'm sorry.
Which specific Indian tribe? We'll just say Connecticut.
How about Sitting Bull? This is the history of Sitting Bull and Red Cloud and Crazy Horse. How about the campaigns of Grant and the cavalry?
They're killing each other before we got here. So
what's that?
The individual tribes that were killing each other before we got here.
Raping, enslaving, cutting hearts out, skinning. In historically, you want to talk about violence historically? Has there ever been more evidence of historical violence than the Native Americans upon each other?
So that justifies white people coming in and taking land from another people because of their evils. Is that what you're saying? Are you justifying that?
No, but it paints a better. I'm doing exactly what you're doing. I'm creating this narrative that is this picture perfect landscape of things, and then evil white man comes in and ruins it all.
No. You're a Christian, and we know from Scripture everybody is born in sin. We know that there's no culture on this planet that it has not committed itself to sin. I'm simply saying that white people, nothing personal, white people have a history of violence and evil as far as not in their own land, but going outside of their own land and stealing land and then telling other people, you can't fly here, you can't have nuclear weapons, you can't establish this law, you have to do it the American way, you have to open McDonald's and Burger King and KFC just like us in your lands. I'm simply telling you that that's how it is. And if you believe in God and you believe in the Holy Spirit, at some point you will crash and burn. That's what's happening now. Look at the situation in Iran. Everybody, believe it or not, you got Americans burning the American flag and holding up other cultures' flag. This is a clear sign that America is in a weak, pathetic
You think that's a
state.
majority? You think that's a majority of people that are doing that?
Oh, no way. You got diehard, red-blooded white Americans in this country that stand side by side with Trump. But at the same time, you have a divided white culture right here in America. We see it every day. If you put it on the news, look at Tucker Carlson. Look at the things he's saying. Look what he's revealing, and look at the weakness of America. America was once a mighty superpower that nations feared. That's slowly eroding as we speak. Slowly, you can't.
And you kept saying, like,
I can't deny it, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the things that you said. You're like that. You white people, and you like, for example, you're doing this podcast on stolen land right now. Where are you, Bikash?
I'm on land that my forefathers were. You want me to answer?
No, I'm sorry. Because I when you said I'm on the land, I kind of knew you were gonna go, but I'll let you get it out. Sorry.
I'm on land that my forefathers were brought here to cultivate and build up. That your forefathers, perhaps, I don't know your exact lineage, that white people stole and capitalized on. I looked up.
So if I can send you back, would you go?
Send me back where?
to wherever it is that, because you said you were brought here, right?
Well, that's a good question. But now, if you could go back, where would you go? Where would you go? Because
I'm
everywhere
not complaining about here, though.
No, see,
I don't
but
want to go
that's
anywhere.
You said
but
your people were stolen. Is that what you said?
yes.
You believe that?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that my people are the children of God. I heard you made a comment about Africans earlier. We don't believe we're Africans. We believe that Africans are a complete separate people from us. We believe
I
Africans.
learned that from Bakash. I learned that from Cap.
That's
by
good.
The way.
You learned.
I
you
learned
learned
that he because that. Yep, I learned from Cap
Yeah,
that he explained to me how the African aren't black. You know what I'm saying? Africans are Africans, and that's what, if I made the thing earlier, I said earlier how Africans are the ones that enslaved black people, not white men.
Right. No, it was like a barter situation. We were,
so it's you were bought.
Okay.
Right.
We were bought by white people.
Not stolen.
Europeans.
In certain cases, we were stolen too. If Africans go and grab us and secretly give us to white people against our wills, we're stolen. But just like the Arab, they had Arabs that sold us too. You understand? So everybody's
doing
guilty.
it today. They're doing it now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But now,
are you in a better place here, or are you in a better place if you're in the Middle East?
We're in a better place when Christ comes back and establish us as our forefathers were, great, mighty people. I asked you a question.
I'll be right with you in the salvation. By the way, I'm not going to be under you. I know we beg to differ, but me and you together, baby.
You'll be in chains. You'll be in chains.
You see, you always have me in chains. Unbelievable.
You understand how foolish that sounds, right?
How's that foolish? Well, you don't believe. See,
that somehow a heavenly.
This is where I step back real quick, and Rex, you guys can enjoy this. I've listened and dealt with this debate so many times. This is fun to watch. I'll just watch it.
No, but he said but let's deal with it rationally. He said it sounds foolish, but you as a Christian, you know that plenty of nations.
Remember that.
No, I'm not you, Rex.
Me.
Yeah. You know, biblically, historically, there are plenty of nations that enslaved other nations. The children of Israel were slaves under the Egyptians. So it's the way of God as far as justice is concerned, or as far as punishment is concerned. So it's not really ridiculous. In America, we're taught to be carnal, not spiritual. In America, we're taught to be educated on chasing money and chasing sex and music, but the spiritual aspects of life, that's stricken from mankind to keep them dumb like sheep. That's what I'm saying.
Let me just get a clarification here. So you when you say when Jesus comes back, we're going to be enslaved and you guys are going to reign over earth, or is this a post life in heaven kind of a thing, or both?
No, according to the Bible, the world is evil. They have lost their way from God. So when Christ
strictly answer my question, just trying to kind of
I'm trying to just tell you how I see it from my perspective, or from God's perspective.
Right.
Perspective.
Same thing.
So according to the Bible, like I was saying earlier about stolen land and the way man is today, when Christ comes back, righteousness will be established on this earth, but not by white people, by black people, the true and living chosen people of God. You understand? Right now, there's no righteousness in the world. In the book of Proverbs 28 verse 2, it says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear through, the people mourn." Everybody's mourning for not being able to pay their bills, make ends meet.
The Israelites, their wives, their children, their sojourners, people from all nations. When he says all nations, is he talking about more scattered Israelites? Or did he already address it by saying Israelites, their wives, their children, the sojourners? So this whole salvation for Israel and not for Gentiles is just not biblically correct. And that's where you and I will always go back and forth. So we don't have to do that right now, because I don't think anybody else wants to hear us do that. But my point is, at least I'm sorry. I want this thing to be. I wanted to bring it up to him, because I don't like how you just automatically assume that everybody is going to agree with you that you're going to be saved because you're an Israelite, when I'm saying biblically is proven that no, for all nations,
I don't
Let
know.
me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
First, can you do that first? Can you answer my question?
I'm sorry.
That I asked about
I'll
20 minutes.
I thought I did. I thought I did answer.
No,
Bakash, you're gonna get me in trouble, Bakash.
No,
what is your question? I thought I did.
Us doughy white people, are we going to be enslaved on Earth or after in the afterlife or both? When are we going to be enslaved? When can I expect the change?
Well. The scriptures talk about establishing and building a new earth in the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter. So, there will be kingdoms on this earth. The earth abideth forever, it tells you in Ecclesiastes. So we know the earth is not going to be destroyed.
On Earth, we're going to be slaves. How about in heaven?
You sure you want the answer? What was your question?
So on Earth, we're going to be slaves. How about after in heaven?
Heaven is not like what the Christians teach. That we're in the space flapping wings and eating grapes. Heaven is a condition.
Not
on
what
earth.
we teach, by the way, but okay.
Some Christians, all right. Some Christians teach that.
Is us cleaning floors and doing dishes and making you chicken parmesan.
Don't forget the agriculture part too. Don't forget that.
Right. So that makes sense to you. That somehow there's a heaven where there's still fucking people having to do work and taking painful.
What
makes sense to you?
What makes sense to me is justice. And under white rule, nobody receives justice. When under white rule, the earth is destroyed, and the Bible tells us that the children of Edom, which you are a descendant of, your days are numbered. I know that's hard and it sounds personal. I'm not trying to be personal or disrespectful. I'm just telling you.
I don't feel wounded, truly.
Okay, well, Rex seems to be a little bit triggered, but I'm just telling you.
I'm just trying to get answers. I don't need a bunch of long.
I don't think you want the answers unless it's baseball hot dogs.
That's a little bit of one thing. I love you, but you do talk a lot with you guys, the Hebrew Israelites. Like you guys are famous for just your talking points. Like you really do. You stick to the script. You really do.
No, I believe in the Bible, brother. I believe in the Bible, and I stick to the Bible. White people, they stick to.
You cherry pick.
So I'll answer any question you have biblically. My answers come from what the Bible says, and if I don't have the answer, I try to answer to the best of my ability. Whereas white people, you don't do that. You function off of emotions. You function off of getting money. You function off of pride. The majority of you. You understand? So if you listen to our back and forth, Rex doesn't like what I'm saying, really. He doesn't like what I'm saying.
He can't answer questions. I just want quick questions.
I thought I wasn't. I said ask a question and watch. And then you be the judge. Ask a question and watch me answer that question, and you get triggered and you come back with, I'm not answering the question or I sound foolish. Answer a question. Any question.
Okay. So I'll ask again. So you believe, and again, I'll even combine the question that heaven and earth, sort of the same thing. That there is a manifestation of heaven or on earth where white people, and again, that's a little bit anomalous, but white people are enslaved to like 14 Hebrew Israelites. Is that what you're saying?
14? 100?
However many. 20?
Yeah, in general, you will go into captivity. You understand? You will.
Do you believe that?
I didn't finish to answer the question. I didn't finish to answer the question.
All right, go ahead.
Biblically, you will go into captivity. And in the book of Isaiah, I believe it's the 14th chapter, it says the whole earth is going to be at peace. The whole earth is not at peace as long as you rule. You say over and over that white people rule and the world is a better place. I've heard you said that at least 3 times. Not exactly how I phrased it, but at least 3 times I heard you say that. But the whole earth is upside down since white rulership. When the Romans were in power, were people happy? No, they took it by force and people weren't happy. When the Greeks were in power, were people happy and drinking wine and celebrating? No, they weren't happy. They weren't happy.
Historically, when blacks have been in power, people are happy?
Not entirely 100%, but the world and people.
Give me one example. Give me one example where black people have been in power and the people are happy.
When the Israelites were in power. You understand? Even when the wicked Babylonians, who are black people, were in power, or the Egyptians were in power, even when they evil and they paganism, the world was not like it is now. I said earlier, everybody's born in sin. I sin. I do bad things sometimes. But I'm saying that the height of wickedness.
That way. That's a fucking sin. Like wearing your hat that way.
What's wrong with wearing a hat?
I love your hat that way, by the way.
My hat. Look, it says Yahweh. Yahweh, the Most High's name on the hat. What's wrong with that?
Did you? By the way, did you hear my Yahweh joke the other day?
Yahweh joke.
You hear my Yahweh joke?
I'm curious.
I have to say it like that because it won't make sense in my joke.
You pissing Rex off, by the way. Don't forget.
I know. All right. I'll email you. I'll email you, Bakash. We'll have fun.
You're pissing Rex though.
Go ahead, Rex. Sorry.
But I thought I answered the questions. I love answering the questions. I love back and forths like this. I don't think I'm being evasive or I'm not answering your question. I don't think you like the answers because you want me to be a Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan type of Negro, and that would fit.
I do not want you to crash in a helicopter, and I do not want you to promote gay.
No, I'm talking about character-wise. Charles Barkley. You seen that clown, that Charles Barkley. I refuse to be like that, or
No,
or
again,
Barack Obama.
I think you're way too intelligent to be such a charlatan, is what I feel. And again, I could be wrong. You may actually believe this nonsense, but I'm
not speaking I'm not speaking in terms of a charlatan. I'm speaking in terms of a weak black man. I see those individuals I name as weak, pathetic black people, and they're not for their people. They're they're one of the wheels or cogs in the American system. That's what
right. And it's the weak black people that you target because you know that they're easy targets.
No, it's the weak black people I target because I know they're a problem for black people who are really going through hell and that really want the truth. I think they get in the way. They like the white America's pit bulls or guards that stop the truth from coming out or stop any pressure on so-called white people.
I think you see them as easy marks. You see them that they're downtrodden, open to whatever that they can latch onto that would give them some sort of a power in a listless world, and you take advantage of it. And I think that's pathetic.
Give me an example.
This whole nonsense. You're laying out, just like a cult leader, a righteous world where no matter what sin or whatever bad way that they're in, they can find virtue and salvation in an ideology that puts down everybody else but themselves. You close off the world to 99% of you close off salvation to 99% of the world, and you save it for a select few of people that are downtrodden, open-minded, and looking for an answer, and you give them this garbage.
Let me ask you a question. What did you do for the 4th of July? What did you do? Did you have a good time or you stayed home? What did you do? Did you barbecue? What did you do?
We barbecued and shot a bunch of guns and fireworks.
Okay. So now white people, historically, the 4th of July represents what?
The independence of our country.
Independence of their country. And historically, in pursuit of this independence, did you not you per se, but historically, did not white people burn down businesses, fight against the British and said, give me liberty or give me what?
Death.
All right, so now if I was to say that's radical, man, you shouldn't fight, you shouldn't kill people for independence, or you shouldn't say A, B, and C. Would I be right if I said that? It's okay when white people fight for their independence and they glorify George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, yay, who owned slaves, but they created phrases like "give me liberty" or "give me death," and all men is for created equal, and that's a bunch of BS. But historically, who writes the history controls the truth versus the lies. I'm just simply saying, black people.
Real quick, hold on, no, because Leon, by the way, you're too young, buddy. I can't bring you up, my man.
He wants you to address this.
In the United States, federal data shows I can't. The United States federal data shows that Black Americans have the highest per capita rate of violent crime involvement, including gang violence, while making up approximately 13.7% of the United States.
And let me guess, because you're going to say these are the black people that are under the white man's thumb, and they're the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, right? They're not.
No, what I'm going to say is my people are the only people who make music about killing each other, degrading their women, selling drugs, using drugs, bling bling, jewelry, and cars. But the people who own those record labels typically are white. Sometimes I don't want to get a flag on your channels. The small hats of JW people, mainly it's them. So I'm saying these other nationalities, they don't make music like that. Name me a nationality, even white people, name me a nationality that makes music about killing their own people, degrading their women and their children, and so on and so forth. You can't name a nation that does that. But the other nations outside of my people make money from wicked music, and it trains my people to be animals. And I'm not taking away from what you put up. My people are animals, a large degree of them, but they have been trained. They have been trained to be that way. Before we got off the last time I spoke to you, I said I asked you a question, but you had to get off.
Yeah,
and I was trying to ask: does my people have a history of acting the way they do today more than 1,000, 2,000 years ago? No, this was all training, and them being persuaded to walk and act as animals. It's the American way. It's the American way.
I don't know at what point your people had a great track record of being moral and good stewards of their people to begin with. So,
really,
yeah. Other than
let me ask you a question: the Romans, were they upright people, or were they barbarians and murderers and cutthroats and the established political power? They would poison and backstab each other. Were the Romans known for that, or were they square dealing, upright people?
We're talking about specifically about your people.
Oh, you don't want to answer that because he knows. You've seen Caligula. You watched Rome.
You answer my question first, and then
what's your question? What's your question, man?
At what point did your people live a righteous, moral life and act in a good stewards of your culture and civilization?
When they follow God. You asked me that something similar to that.
Really. Wouldn't that also apply with other people other than outside of your skin color?
Meaning what? Were they upright? I'm not saying that there aren't any upright.
Follow God, people who follow God, no matter what their race is.
Well, then you have to show me them following God. If they joined on to my people's beliefs, like the strangers, we had there's a part in the Bible called the law of the strangers. When they followed that, of course, they attached themselves to God. But as the Greeks and the Romans, they didn't follow God. They followed orgies and drinking wine and murder. That's why I went to Rome. America, America is just another Rome. Killing, lying, stealing.
What about the black Christians that are living living somewhat of a virtuous lifestyle or righteous lifestyle?
I don't see how you could be a black Christian and be but somewhat virtuous when you're celebrating Christmas, Easter, and Halloween. The majority of religions celebrate Christmas, Easter, and Halloween. You can Google that and see that they're clearly pagan. They're clearly pagan. And
that's been, here I encourage you to go on Mike Jones's Inspiring Philosophy and go look at some of his videos based on, like, let's say Easter being a pagan religion. I encourage you just to go look at his Mike Jones Inspiring Philosophy. He has amazing in-depth videos on that will give you a really good explanation. You may not understand, you may not believe what he's saying, but at least it might give you a different viewpoint on that. I've watched it a few times. I don't think I'm educated enough to kind of get his point across well enough, but I think it may at least give you some things to think about before. Because again, it is very, very common where people that aren't Christian, it's easy to yell and talk about these pagan holidays that we celebrate when it's not just cut and dry that they're pagan holidays. There are some similarities, but there are a lot of words in Hebrew that are misrepresented, and things of that nature. So again, you can laugh it off, but I would like you to at least watch the. Oh, okay.
No, I was laughing because you mentioned Easter, and the Christians, they celebrate Resurrection Sunday and Easter Sunday. There's no way you can get 3 days and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday. So again, right there.
But see, even that, like, and this is all due respect, that's a very weak argument because it's very consistent. The counting of the days is very consistent. In that time, there are other things that reference the day. Is that what you're talking about? Like it's really 4 days, not 3 days?
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was 3 days. It says as Christ was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so shall he be in the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, you know, when you read the last chapter of Matthew, it says, as it dawned towards the first day of the week. The first day of the week is so-called Sunday. So mathematically, it would be impossible to get 3 days and 3 nights if you follow just the regular standard calendar, Friday
How many
to
days is
Sunday.
Then how
But
many days is it?
you're conflating
4?
what we're celebrating and how we celebrate it.
But wait, you're saying
No,
it's 4 though, right?
I'm saying when you look into the history of what you celebrate, it's pagan. Christmas is pagan. If you can do a simple Google search on that.
What are we celebrating on Christmas?
Why? Because
what specifically are we celebrating on Christmas?
You're celebrating the worship of the sun. The winter solstice is when the sun is in its.
No, we are celebrating the birth of Christ. That is specifically the reason that we do that. You may have a problem how we do it or when we do it, but that's what we're doing.
So I didn't know in the Bible it tells you the exact birthday of Christ.
That's
I look up.
That's what we are doing. We're like, hey, we're happy that Jesus is born, so we're going to celebrate it. And
So-
we're happy that Jesus came back, so we're going to celebrate it. Hey, we like dressing up our kids and having and again, I consider Halloween not a holiday, not a holy day, but a celebration of the fall, of the fall harvest, and a tradition, American tradition of what we do. Now, you want to ascribe some kind of a pagan cynicism to it. I don't do that. You're just doing that to degrade and devalue custom core religious, sometimes religious, sometimes celebratory things of American culture. And
I encourage you to go look at Inspiring Philosophy's videos on it, just to give you a little bit of a scholarly take. That's all I'm saying to you.
See, this is the nature of the white man. You rebel against God. He gives you instructions. He says not to add or take away to his scriptures. He says to the law and to the testimony they speak not according to this word. There is no
Where
light
are we
in them.
adding? Where are we adding, my friend?
He just said
Christmas on 25th.
Yeah, he said because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with dressing up or a certain way for Halloween. And even though the day of Christmas, the birthday of Christmas is not in there, he just said what's wrong with doing that. God doesn't operate that way. God, it's like your children saying, I'm going to come in when I'm going to come in the house. I'm going to eat when I want to eat. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Is order. God establishes order. But the white man, he has a history of rebelling against. See Rex right there. I knew Rex. He don't like that. See, I'm not
yelling to bring that down because I didn't want to read it.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my apologies. But I'm just saying that, and this is what Iran and the Islamic cultures abroad calls America the great Satan, and this is why they call Israel the little Satan, because you act like you're about justice and politics, being politically correct and so on and so forth, but you have a violent history of dominance, murder, and trickery. And this is the problem on the earth. So this is why I said initially when I got on that once God sends Christ back and once righteousness is established on the earth, everyone will be happy when you are removed out of your positions of power. You don't think it's going to happen, but we see it happening right before our eyes. We see it. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah, that's what you believe. And again, I hope for your soul you're right, because if you're not, that's gonna.
Well, look at the country. Has the country ever been this bad?
Yeah.
Has it ever been this bad? Name me a time. Name me when it's been this bad. Name me morally, the children, money. When?
The Great Depression.
1860s.
1860s. The Civil War.
Yep.
The Civil War? The Civil War was just based on greed. One side saying...
Again, we're not... Because that's not what we're talking about, why it happened. We're talking about, you said, name me a time when I think that in history it's been worse than it is now.
So you said 1929?
I happen to say the Great Depression, times of this country, I feel people were struggling just as bad, if not worse, at the hands of where they were in the world.
So
that's what
my point. Okay, finish. So during the Great Depression, were they burning American flags? No. During the Great Depression, were women advocating that white men are evil? No, you didn't have that then. What children?
You've made that. That's twice though. You made that claim, but you didn't give me an example of where white women are saying that white men are evil.
Oh, he was put on the news, man. White women are now saying that white men are the problem of the earth.
Are those the same pink-haired, suspender-wearing,
yeah, I'm sure.
fornicating with other women that you're
some, not all of them, but some are. But you
so
didn't
then we
have
can both
that.
agree that those people's opinions and/or logic is flawed.
Why? Because they have pink hair. I believe a lot of the liberals, like if I wasn't into the Bible, I probably have the same mindset like you guys. If I wasn't in the Bible, to a certain degree,
I believe that. No, I believe no. I know what you mean. Yeah,
I have conservative values because you know if you put conservative values and liberal values on the table, conservative would be closer to the Bible than liberal. You understand? So I don't agree with chopping off genitalia and the pink hair, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't agree with a lot of that, but I do see that it's picking up momentum along with socialism, and these are signs that the country is getting weaker and weaker. You can't deny that. The liberal.
I want to say something about Bakash real quick. And again, I kind of have a little because the chat is freaking the fuck out.
I know. I don't look at the chat.
You.
I like coming on here to piss them off.
I know you do, and you do.
Can I say something to the chat? Can I say something to the chat?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So everybody in the chat, your days are doomed. America will crash and burn, whether you're liberal or Democrat or conservative. Your days are doomed. The happy glory days are just about done. Look at your children. Look at the state of the country.
What are you gonna fucking monologue? I thought you were gonna say a quick hello. You know what I mean? Okay. No,
I like pissing them off.
I know you do. And here's what I want. Here's what I want to do. I want to give grace. Because again, I disagree with you so much. You have no idea. With that being said, I have the luxury of kind of being in his world, meaning Bakash's world, in regards to faith. I know for them, I don't want to claim to know everything, but I know a lot of the things he's believed in. I've listened. I understand where Bakash is coming from. So for me, it's very easy for me to it's palatable for me when you talk, right? Biblically, I don't agree with what you say because again, I feel like you cherry pick. I see there's a lot of reasons why I don't, but that's here nor there. But my point is a lot of the things that you're saying, I understand why you're saying them. So I don't get triggered by them. You know what I'm saying? Because I do see that there's a lot of like I see where your motivation comes from. I see when you build your argument, I see where you're picking it from. I just sometimes two things can be right at the same time. And I think that you may be on the wrong side of it a lot of the times. With that being said, what do I know? You know what I'm saying? I do my very best. And being a somewhat new Christian, bro, I struggle every single day with different things that I try to reconcile in my life. And it's not easy. It is not easy. And like you said, you sin, right? It's probably difficult. You sin, you repent, or however you handle that. It's not an easy lifestyle to live when you try to live by scripture. So my point is, I can't get mad at the chat, and I can't get mad at all these other people that don't see where you're coming from. Again, I don't agree with you on a lot of the things that you're saying, but I do like to give you at least the grace because I understand what you mean. I get it. I don't necessarily believe in it all, but I do see what you're saying. But you don't feel. But my point to hold that little thing is, you don't see how some of the rhetoric and don't give me this. Oh well, the white man just doesn't want to hear it because they're whatever. No, I think sometimes you need to have a little bit of nuance and a little bit of. I think you need to back up your rhetoric. I think, like for example, Captain Cesaro, I think it's disgusting the way he leans in to his rhetoric. I understand. Look, he's also look again. You won't say it, but he's a fucking grifter. You won't say it, but he is. He leans the fuck in.
I'm a lot older than Captain Tazariak, so I kind of slow down a bit. And on other channels or when I'm on the streets, I would sound a lot more like him. I respect I respect your panel or your channel. I don't want to get flags on your channel, and I don't want to get things
You
to
ain't gonna do anything
go in the
worse
wrong
than
direction. What's that?
So you ain't gonna do anything worse to our channel than what we do. And
Yeah, that's true.
Tam, you try not to make sense of.
Well, I'm still a guest. I'm still a guest. I'm feeling my way around. You tell me to sit on the couch. I sit on the couch. I'm not going to sit at the kitchen table. So I'm even though you're the white man, I'm going to still show some respect. That's what the spirit is about. It's about balance and wisdom, and even our book says, as much as lieth in you, be at peace with all men. As much as lieth in you. So there's no reason for me to. I can come hardcore, but there's no reason for that.
Well, and that's exactly why I treat you the way I treat you, and I've made sure that I went out of my way to show you grace. And I wanted to point out to the chat that you're not out of left field here. You're not out of character. Again, I have some problems with your rhetoric. Sure. I think that if I was in your position, I think I may take a little bit of a different approach. But again, that's where you would say, hey, Footer, that's where your fault is, pal. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and I'm not playing both sides of the fence here. I'm just trying to be fair to you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you are very fair to us.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. That's really all I want.
I think your fault in, like you mentioned earlier, you said you struggle. You struggle. Everybody struggles. The scripture says, it talks about the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So everybody struggles. But I think the problem with you and most white people, you struggle with the truth, because in the same book you read, it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So the more truth you get, there's less struggle. And I think the history I mentioned, the paganism I mentioned, the characteristics of white people that I mentioned, I think you struggle with that truth.
I feel that you struggle, and I feel you struggle in the truth of not understanding that Jesus is God when it's so blatant in Scripture. So again, I would pick Scripture, and I would, and then you'd look at me and be like, no, I'm just cherry picking Scripture that boosts my ideology. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I look in the Bible and I can clearly see Old Testament and New Testament that Jesus is God, and you know what I'm saying? So for us to go, like you said, God, 1,000 million times more knowledgeable on Scripture than me, but that doesn't mean that you understand it. I think you're looking at Scripture in a filter, in a lens, right? Again, my opinion,
I'm sorry.
Before Abraham, I am. I mean, there's a lot of verses that I can just cherry pick, throw that out there, and then not let you answer and just move on. You know what I'm saying? Or if you didn't have the knowledge to have something to say, then we just move on and go, oh, look at Footer throwing out Scripture. Like you kind of, and I'm just used anything as an example, but you kind of know my point. Like just me picking something that I think would bolster my point or my position. I just throw it out there and then I just let that sit.
Nah, that's not what I do. Let me give you. I'm gonna ask you a question. You don't have to answer it now. Next time I speak to you, you can come back with an answer.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna wait. Can you save it though? Because I want to bring Veronix up because you got him hot. So hold on a minute.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, Veronix. Go ahead.
What's up,
Veronix? What's up, buddy?
Hey, just one moment.
Yeah, take your time, brother.
Yeah, we'll wait for you, Veronix. It's fine.
Well, the guy's doing all the stats for the show, and he's working. You know what I'm saying? Got security.
Yeah, I'm at work. I'm just yeah, can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, yep, you're good, man. All right.
Okay.
What do you got?
All right. Well, first, I must to call out the blatant racism that is being put on display right now. Does a caller want to maybe address some of that?
Sure, I'll address it. Anything you put on the table.
So give him a specific.
Okay, what is racism?
What he said?
Well, basically, he is quite literally. Sorry, I'm not in the best service area. Like I said, I'm at work.
You're fine. You're fine, brother.
We can hear you.
Like I said, I'm also ill prepared for a debate, so that's just a little heads up on that one too. Mostly, I came in to point out I don't really have an argument on the Christianity side. I am a pagan myself, so I don't have any dog in that fight. I'll let the host handle that side of things. I do believe that every attempt that caller has made. I hate calling you caller. What name can I? What name can I give you? What name can I call you?
Bakwash.
I have the phone pulled up right now.
What's the biggest issue though with Bakwash's racism? Where do you feel like he's? And again, I don't disagree with you, but what do you give him? Call him out on some of his racism that you disagree with.
All right, I think my signal's too bad. I apologize.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we got you, buddy. I don't think he can hear us. I think.
He can't hear us. Okay, all right. Well, I'm not surprised.
I'll remove you and bring you back. You can come back.
But Veronica,
thanks again, VG.
Yeah,
you're the best.
One of the questions he asked is, "What's your definition of racism?" I guess is where he was going to start.
Racism. There's nothing wrong with racism. It's the actions that follow behind racism. Racism just simply means to be for your own people. But when you use evil to keep your people afloat, when you use evil to step on the heads of other people, that's when there's a problem. I am a racist, and you guys might say you're not racist, but you're racist too. Everybody has racism.
I say prejudiced. I say I'm a little prejudiced. I don't know about racist. Prejudice because I prejudge.
Prejudge, right? So, but
I would consider myself a nationalist more than a racist, for sure.
Okay, but you're always going to put white people before other people. You can say for survival. I'm not knocking you on that.
I will tell you, I will defend your life before I defend somebody else's life outside this country.
But you're going to defend white lives and white privilege. You're not. Come on. All right, let's say hypothetically, for the sake of argument, you wouldn't do that. Other white people at the top of the food chain, that's what they're going to do for survival. You understand? They're going to do that. They're always going to put white people first. When the white man came to this country.
I don't believe that, because I'm telling you, the one thing, look, maybe I'm an idiot and I'll take that, but do you see me as being dishonest?
Yeah. You know why? Because even if you felt that way, you would be forced into the ideology that I'm talking about. If me and you walked into a prison and I saw a group of black people on the right hand side and you saw a group of white people on the left hand side, you are not going to walk with me, hey buddy, and go to the black side, because society has molded us to be for our own people. You understand?
Yes,
survival purpose. You're going to go to the white side.
But you're equating that to a horrible prison life. That's not society. You're trying to equate that to society, where I'm telling you, if you and I were pals and we both got pinched, right, and we both got hemmed up on something and we went into somewhere together, I know I wouldn't be able to. You and I would go in those doors. But listen, in a horrible, flawed prison system, we would have to go this way to survive. I'm saying in today's society and in the country, me and you are buddies. Me and you, you're my homie. We grew up together, right? Yeah. And we come into a situation, and there's 10 white guys here on the street and 10 black guys there on the street. I'm with you, homie. Whether you come with me over here to the white people because they're better, or the black people are better, I'm with you. You're my boy. It ain't got color.
I was gonna say, and the fact of the matter is that if we were both in prison, you would go with the blacks and I'd go with the rest of the prison guards.
I'm saying because
you see, you're a criminal. He's not.
I'm saying because of society today, how it's designed with redlining, where you live.
What is this, 1960? What do you do? Stop, because you're smarter than stop with this oldie time fucking shit.
Come
Dude,
up to
you're not. Brother,
you said you were from Bushwick. Would you?
No, I lived in Queens, but I spent most of my time in Bushwick because I was doing bad things.
Would you rather live in the south side of Queens or live in an all white neighborhood?
I want to live in the better neighborhood that is let me.
I can ask you the same thing, Bakash.
But you would rather live in no. Let me answer the question. Yeah. I would rather live in a neighborhood that I feel safe. I feel that I can thrive in.
And
that my
people. Oh, sorry.
And there's no blacks. No. And
Rex knows. Rex can say it again.
Yeah.
Correct him, Rex, because he sounds crazy right now. Rex, correct him right now.
Do you really think though? But now,
so are you saying?
Do you think I'm lying to you right now? And if you can say yes, do you think that I'm lying to you? And if I am, why? Why am I lying?
Because deep down, you don't want to come off as a bad guy like the majority.
Have you not heard this show? Have you not heard this show? Because
you
I'm
said
a horrible human being. I tell everybody about everything. Horrific things I did.
You said you would rather be in a safe neighborhood. That's what you said.
Yes, sir.
So are in your opinion, are white neighborhoods safer than black neighborhoods? In your opinion,
if I went statistically, yes.
Okay, so this goes to what I said. Like, this is why I use the prison analogy, because you have no choice but to choose the best of the two options as far as survival. White people, they might say they're not racist. They might say they don't do A, B, and C. They may say they read their Bible, but for survival purpose, because of the world that white people have created, you are gonna go with the best option, with the highest tax bracket, with the where you can make a better deal, where your property value will go up. You're gonna make the best choices.
Based on color or data? Let me give you an example. I would rather live in Atlanta, who is predominantly a black city, than one of these hillbilly white cities outside of Atlanta that is not thriving, that I cannot make a better life for myself. So that is right. Like, that's in contradiction to what you think. Do you think I'm lying about that?
Let me in Atlanta, I'm not too familiar with Atlanta. I've been there a couple of times. Do they have sundown? Do they have sundown towns in Atlanta?
What does that mean?
Meaning black people have to get out of that town before the sun goes down. Or
no, Atlanta is predominantly a black, thriving black entrepreneurial city that has an extremely high quality of life, and a good majority are black people.
No, I meant you know what? I meant to say Georgia itself. Georgia itself. Are you familiar with the term sundown town?
Is there any sundown towns that you in Georgia?
I don't know. I only been.
I don't know.
I'm simply saying that. Let me make it easier for you. When I was in New York, I was trying to get into public housing, and I wanted to go to Sheepshead Bay. I don't know if you're familiar with the area of Sheepshead Bay.
I am. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Sheepshead Bay is a lot better than Brownsville, East New York, Pennsylvania Avenue. And I put my name on the list. My name, that was over 20 years ago. My name is probably still on that list. And one of the clerks at the Department of Housing straight up told me, you know, why am I waiting so long? Because I was complaining. They said, because what do you think? Those certain buildings are for white people. They're not going to put a white family in a hardcore black building like Brownsville.
Your real name is Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, but because
you might get you shouldn't use that word. They might get a strike on your channel.
Yeah, I think he's over.
And as far as Adolf, he wasn't a dummy. He wasn't. I'm not saying he was a good man, but a lot of the tyrants, men that we look at as warmongers, a lot of them weren't dummies. You know, Alexander the Greek wasn't a dummy. Napoleon wasn't a dummy. These were brilliant men. They just was warped or paid off by the powers that be. The Rothschild family. What's that?
Nothing.
But because the thing is that I'm still miffed on the fact that you can't get you don't see the sense of genuine answer. I'm giving you a genuine answer, and I tried to kind of go into your world as far as the whole black and white thing, where I'm saying to you, I think my goal as not a white man, just as a human being on this limited time I have on this earth, would be try to live a fruitful life. And if that dictated a safer neighborhood, where I can thrive and I can maybe raise a family that they feel safe. The truth, I want my property to look nice. I want my stores to be accommodating. All those things are not based on a white or black issue for me. They're based on exactly what I said. Now,
is it a privilege?
Not at
Is
all.
it a
How is
privilege?
that a privilege? How is that a
So
privilege to try? So it's a privilege to want to live somewhere where you can make the best life. And I believe that person from
no,
housing
I
told
told you
you that.
earlier.
I bet he was a black person that told you that.
I
That works
agree
for
with
public
I
housing.
agree. Even me as a black man, at the same things you just mentioned, I want. I'm just saying that white people are not going to give that privilege up or give that up. They're not going to give that up for the sake of black people. Maybe the liberals might talk a good one, but they're not going to give that up, because the moment you give that up, see, the top old school white dudes that was about being patriotic, American, the ones that was in that patriotic mind frame, they know the minute you turn liberal, that's the end of them in America. The old school dudes, you
Let
understand?
me
The
ask you.
white, they view you as, not no disrespect to you guys, but they
Okay.
view you guys as weak. That's what they view you guys as.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. This would have to work out for your argument to be right. So, are you telling me that the majority of public housing is being granted to white people?
No, I didn't say that.
But
I said
you just
I said I wanted to go to Sheepshead Bay or further south Brooklyn, because I knew that those were cleaner. There was less violence in those particular houses at that time. I don't know what it's like now, versus Linden Plaza, pink houses, and so on and so forth. I had a son, and just like you, I wanted better for me and my son. But what the clerk told me is that those homes are reserved for white folks. They can't put white folks in Brownsville, East New York. They can't do that. They wouldn't survive, she's trying to tell me. So wake up.
Now, whose fault is that? Is that the fault of the person on the street that's not making it palatable for a white person to live there? Or is it the white guy's fault or the government's fault?
Well, I answered that earlier. Black people have been conditioned to be animals. They're not.
So-
we don't have.
Then who are we blaming, Bukwash? Is my point. You don't see the circular that you're in? You're in a circle here.
I'm blaming systemic racism. I'm blaming the system that controls the world. You understand? I'm blaming the system. Look. I'll give you an example. Look in Israel and look at the so-called Arabs or the people in Palestine. Look how they live. Look how they live. You understand? Those are conditions.
But Bukwash, I really want to focus in on one thing. I want to go back to what I'm saying. Rex, do you see what I'm doing here with the public housing issue that he's saying? Okay, and I just wanted to focus on, because that's where I feel like you're in this circular thing here. So
no, I'm not.
You're I don't want to say complaint, but you're I'll say complaint.
I'm not even complaining. I don't live in. I moved out of Brooklyn years ago. I'm not complaining.
Your scenario was that, and we just use that as an example. So, but your scenario is saying that you wanted public housing in a certain in what would be considered a nicer area. You were basically told that they're reserved for white people because white people can't live in black areas, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because they
So
would be brutally dealt with if they lived in the very projects that they were.
So you're comfortable placing the blame on savage behavior from from those people that are there, right?
No, I'm not. I'm just simply showing you the cycle of how it works. I'm not.
But why is it working like that, Bakash, is what I'm telling you. It can't be because of systematic rate. It has to be because the place the people are inhabiting is a shithole. And the people are making it a shithole. So why are we then going back to someone else's fault?
So what I'm saying is that the SH holes that they live in, I'm saying those conditions have been created for them over decades and decades and decades of racism, neglect, systemic racism, drugs. That's what I'm saying.
What have you done, not you personally, what has been done by the inhabitants to make that better?
Well, it goes into you guys as well as my people, the truth.
What have you done, the people that live there, to make it, not you personally, the people that live there, what have you done to make it better?
Well, my job is to put something in the hard drive, meaning in their minds, and that's righteousness and the Spirit of God in Christ. You understand? That's what I do.
So
I go on the street.
and you've done that, and the message isn't resonating. Obviously, whose fault is that?
No, that's not true. In the Bible, which you very well know, not everybody's going to receive the truth. Some people have received the truth.
Sometimes you dust your sandals off.
I heard you. I think it was Thursday, said that before you got in the Bible, you was a savage. Not in those exact words, but you was a beast. I was the same
Before he got
way.
on the show, he was a savage.
What's that?
Before he got on the show this morning, he was a savage.
But I heard you Thursday. I was listening to you guys. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. I don't know what it was. But you said before. You said that. So I'm saying that I was the same way. I was terrorizing people before I learned the truth. And I said the whole thing, whether black or white, is based on the truth. And a lot of people will reject the truth. A lot of people hate the truth. But not everybody's going to receive the truth. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you what? Free. That's all I'm saying.
So would you, can we agree that there is an, in this country, a universal optimal program, a way of life that if followed and prescribed to and held hard to, that there is a universal program that is optimum for a human, if followed properly, can achieve an equal outcome no matter what your color is?
Well, that would be the truth. And then that would be designed on what God has prescribed for different nations. So
well, let's leave God out of it. Just saying,
whoa.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Now because and I are both mad at you.
I mean, I don't hear what he's going to say. I want to hear. I'm downtown. I'm downtown Manhattan a lot, and I hear stuff like this. Let me hear.
I'm just saying. So everybody can be a player at the table. No matter what your religious background, if two parents have a kid and the child is raised with good universal morals, goes to school, the child is given parameters inside the house, goes to a good school or goes to a school, does well in school, either gets a job or goes to school after, whatever, gets married, has a child in marriage. If everybody applies that universally, because we all can kind of agree that that's the optimum way historically to live, do the childs of these families that raise this way have an equal opportunity in this country, no matter what their race is?
It sounds like socialism, but I'm just a joke, man. It's a joke. It's a joke.
All right.
So in a namby-pamby world, yeah, but then that goes back to what I told your hosts. We're realistically, we're all born in sin, and that's not possible. That's not possible. But if that were the case, yeah. No, listen to what I'm saying. If that were the case, yeah. But we know that that's far from any reality. But if that was the case,
how is that reality?
Because all examples you name, the majority of people are not going to live that lifestyle. And even if they did, that goes back into listen what I'm saying. Even if they did do that, that goes back into what I was telling your host about privilege versus non-privilege and choices.
No, this is right privilege, not white privilege. If you do everything right,
I'm
for sure.
But I'm saying if you did that, the system is that's why I said namby-pamby world. The system is not designed to let you live that lifestyle, but so much, or it's for that only very few can do that. The system is designed to make you a slave. Even white people are slaves to the system. You understand? The whole country is. I'm sorry.
Historically, since the beginning of time, this is the optimum way to survive. This is the optimum way. You grow up with two parents,
right?
You raise your kid right. You put them on the correct path, no matter what your ethnic is, or no matter what your religious, whatever. Okay. If you do that, you have an equal opportunity in this country. Now, again, you do have some natural things that may either help or hinder you: intelligence, height, charisma, those kind of things. Those things can't be controlled. But
you're watching too much CNN. You're watching too much CNN. You need to watch Fox a little bit more. You gave an example. you gave an example of raising your kids a certain way, but even today, they're telling you that if your child is a boy and they somehow persuade your child in school that you can be a girl, they were trying to bring out laws where you can be charged with child abuse if you didn't let your child move in the direction that he or she wants to move as far as gender. What you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but that's not how the world is today. It's gotten worse. You can't do that. That's what I'm saying. You have no choice in this country anymore. That's what I was telling your host. You either do the best you can, or you follow the government. And if you don't follow the government, you go to jail. Even if you live the golden rule, the cost of living is so outrageous, you're prone to do desperate acts. A lot of these people you see that's shooting up a bank or a school or whatever, this is not just by chance. These guys break because of what the system is doing to them. The same way my people have become animals, not all of them, have become animals because the system has broken them. Even you guys, I don't know your personal lives, but I'm sure either you guys or you have personal family members who have broke because of the pressure of the system. It's a rat race. It's the great Satan, like the Arab world says. This is what we're in. The modern day Rome, the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, the modern day Egypt.
All right, B. We're going to start wrapping it up. Are you available next Saturday for a debate?
Saturday, it's Shabbat and I'm teaching. But Saturday night, if you want to do that when the sun goes down, I'll do that. Or Sunday, I'll do Sunday.
Well, the VG, the guy that was on earlier, says he wants to
do a Saturday
debate. So maybe we can think about something Saturday evening, if that.
Not
works.
next Saturday, no, a different Saturday.
Oh, not next Saturday, the Saturday after. All right.
What is his background? Oh, he's just a regular dude.
I know he's a security guard and he's really into statistics. That's what we know.
And he said he was a pagan. So you're gonna love that.
Oh, the same guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I gave you my email.
Yeah, if you can, give me your email and I'll, or unless you want to just
Bakwash BA. No, I don't care. Bakwash BAQASH.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
All right. So yeah, we'll set that up and we'll have you discuss with him on Saturday. Not this Saturday.
I love your chat.
That's one thing, man. It's funny. It's like YouTube is probably like our smallest, platform. We do the best we do is on Spotify, but we do have a really, really, really cool ass cluster of people that come to the show. And doing a little show as far as the size of our show, for the amount of people we get.
Which show? This show or Spotify?
The Spotify show is big. That gets thousands and thousands and thousands of streams and plays. But this show, again, we do really well as far as you see, because I'm sure you watch a lot of live chats. You don't get a lot of shit. If you get 3 people in chat, that's a pretty good live chat. We do everywhere from freaking 14 to 90 to 100. So we do pretty good, especially on Sunday mornings. Today wasn't the best, but yeah, we're very lucky.
You could have
here's the other thing. Like
we definitely do.
We got into a really great algorithm on Spotify by taking advantage of a black person. So I guess you're right.
Listen, I'm not mad at you. Listen, my point of views and where I stand.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I like the realism. Be real. Be who you are.
But gosh, thank you again, brother. We love you here. We really do. I know you don't. I know I'm not your brother. You probably don't love us, but either way,
you're Esau. You're Esau. Esau is technically our brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, you just been ostracized by Cap from the Hebrew Israelites, but I hope you're happy. I hope Copperhead Road just made you leave Hebrew Israelites. Oh boy.
Why you say that? Why do you say that?
Because every time I call Cap my brother, he goes, he'll say something nice to me and then go, well, let me be clear, you're not my brother.
Well, I don't mean it like that. I mean, when you read the story of Jacob and Esau, they were brothers, but they formulated according to the Most High their own nations. You guys are Edomites.
Oh, you mean Jesus, the Most High? Oh, I got it.
I like to say you're a brother. I like to say you're a brother from a single mother.
All right, man. Because thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right,
And,
man.
We'll talk
Watch,
soon. As always,
keep an eye on that news. We're gonna see what happened. Those 2 soldiers were killed, possibly 3. We're gonna see if Iran is no more now. We're going in the next 3 days. So
we know the end of the world is coming. White man bad. We get it.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on. You guys be cool.
Love you. All right, buddy. All right, Rex, we got to get out of here. I got some peach pancakes waiting for me.
Gross.
You're gross. All right, well, everybody, thanks, man. Again, John Stevenson, Veronix Gaming, Dang, Mud Butter, and you had Tammy Pearson. You had about everybody. Great job today. And we had man, what's the guy with the guitar in his avatar? John Wilsts or something. Anyway, all right. God bless everybody. I appreciate you. Yeah, God bless. We're out.
If you're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or wherever you hear us, come on over to Rumble, like and subscribe no matter where you are. Hit the notification bell so you hear our beautiful voices anytime we're on. Good night, everybody. Team Hype, why should I care specifically about the plight of the black man? Give me a reason to care.
It's so funny how, like, I'm so immune to like getting in any way rage bait. Not that he's trying to rage bait us, but
Well,
precaution.
I said the prep pill helped. God, my fake eye is bothering me today.
Who's bothering you?
My fake eye.
No. You don't have a fake eye. Will you stop saying that?
How do you
People are
know?
going to think you have a fake eye.
That's correct, Barney.
Barney Bell, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't shout you out. I love you, buddy. Team Hype as well. John Stevenson, I think I got you, but
Waiting on that second video, Team Hype. We're waiting with bated breath. I think 13 years.
Yeah, I actually subscribed to you. Stop flirting with Jen, Barney, please.
Mind your business.
Yeah. Can I insult her like biblically? Quiet, you chat harlot. Is that better?
I'd still rather you not. My wife.
That's fair. I absolutely love Veronix. I really do. I will be very prepared for this debate. Again, brother, you're going to do fine because you're going to have the truth on your side. So. Oh, shit. You know what? I didn't look at the... Rex, you be 18. I'm not 18. Okay, bye-bye.